Yeah, someone just posted the vestibular system on the chat here, a live stream. But the vestibular system doesn't detect motion. That was something I was taught growing up, that it detects motion. It doesn't. It detects acceleration. Big difference. And we are able to detect acceleration pretty easily. We're not very good at detecting velocity. All we can do with velocity is measure that relative motion with respect to something else.
Oh, yeah.
Well then, Doofus Danny, the dipshit astronomer, since the Earth in your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion is rotating, hence has an angular velocity, ergo the Earth is constantly accelerating, and
we are able to detect acceleration pretty easily.
Can you please explain to us why we can't detect it easily? Por favor?
You are so dumb. Damn.
As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Let's head on over to Discord. It was quite spirited just a few seconds ago because I seen the dang Discord bouncer bouncing up and down. I'll tell you what, it better be bouncing up and down with the beautiful Betty Van Velsen. Beautiful Betty Van Velsen, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Uh-huh. Get close to that mic, girl.
Yeah, I get a little bit closer, but then I get away from it because I still need to get my dinner.
How can you get a little bit closer to something and then get away from it at the same time? Did you go on baller on me?
To be honest, yes, because I have like a play toy ball that's has the sort of the globe map on.
I bet you, little vixen.
Me and my cat were playing with it. So. Yeah.
Well, you continue to do it.
All from him. Every time that I threw it at him, he was kicking it away.
Continue to throw that ball. I'm going to have to slap you around a bit.
Well, the cat already did. So, yeah. He slapped the ball around a bit.
All right. Who do we got in there? I'll tell you what. Brian better be in there. I tell you that much right now.
Why?
He's not. Jerk. Evening.
He might be later. Oh, Adam. These people getting later and later.
Yeah. They're following your lead. You're leading by example.
Listen,
what do you mean?
It's early, so yeah.
I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening.
No, evening.
Evening, Betty. Evening, Betty.
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 It's not Betty.
Betty, better. It's more of an for a Y. Better. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to go and prepare dinner.
All right. What's for dinner?
You guys might be just on top of the Faulkner guy, right?
Nah, it just depends on how on what you're eating and how long you're going to take to eat. So what are you eating?
Pizza.
Not again.
It's Tuesday is pizza eating.
Is it? Oh, Tuesday's pizza day. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, for me it is.
Better have fish on that.
No, it doesn't. It has chicken on it.
Same with me. Tuesday's pizza day also. They got a sale on Tuesday.
Yes.
Who the hell puts chicken? I don't put. Listen, you chicken chucker. I like chicken like the next guy. But
yeah, well, you're not like the next guy. You are that guy.
But now I'm not a mother clucker. I don't put chicken on pizza. What?
Yeah, polo. It's chicken. It's pizza polo.
California pizza, they do that. Oh, cute.
I was in California. I never seen any chicken on any pizza.
Oh my goodness gracious. You're old-fashioned, man.
Somebody else said
There's
that in the
There's
chat.
a thing called California
There-
pizza.
Shut up, Neil.
They do.
Somebody said that in the chat. They had a damn backhanded slight towards QE. What was that? Way up here. It was old dude. He said, "Come on, granddad, get on, weigh it." I knew you'd like that. But
Nice.
I seen it.
Well, I'll
I
slap
seen
you
it-
around a bit.
I
That's what
seen it.
Granddad would say.
Shut up. I seen it before I started the show. I'm looking down and it pissed me off. But he didn't spell it says get on weigh it. WAE, right? So I responded, get on with some spell check.
Well, at least they could like learn better in those days, huh? Do the arithmetics and all that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Come on, granddad, get on with it.
I kind of like it. That's now. He sort of described my idea when you say I'm gonna slap you around a bit. I'm thinking, what kind of guy do I see in front of me? And now that guy said it. It's Granddad.
Yeah, here we go.
What?
So Bible U says pepperoni, sausage, bacon, those are proper pizza toppings.
Oh my God! Is there a rule? Where is that rule?
Yeah, I think chicken's a bit. It's like not a topping for. I was with you on tuna, but chicken's.
See,
You
but
can have
you guys need
meatballs
to.
too.
You guys need to expand your boundaries a little bit more, man.
You know what's wrong? Is your palate. It's unrefined.
My palate is broad.
It's unrefined.
It is broad.
Oh, you're broad.
Yes, and I incorporate that completely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also spinach on my pizza for sometimes. I mean, is that also not allowed? How about corn?
Hey, old dude said it's Scots, the bra version, you heathen. What the hell is he talking about? Is that the old dude from 24/7? Is that
The old
you?
dude?
Let him answer.
It's gonna take a while.
So, is there a word in Scottish that's spelled WAE?
Yeah, bra means it's good. It's bra that. It's a bra pizza.
Not bra. He was talking
That's
about. Adam, shut up. Listen to what I'm telling you. Remember the first message he told me? He said, "Come on, granddad, get on weigh it." Now, I think he was trying to say with it, but he spelled it WAE. Now, is there a Scottish word with WAE?
Wait.
It's just it's not even a word in English.
Yeah, way is with, said he.
Oh, way is with. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Hmm.
Huh. Well, old dude, there can be only one. You glue sniffing fungus muncher, you. Spell it out in English so we can understand it, not in Scottish.
I'll read it in English to what he said. Yeah. He says it's in Scottish. Correct version, you heathen.
Yeah, and then what? Who does he mean then? Who's the heathen here?
You.
You're right.
No.
Haggis pizza. Now, I could see that on haggis, on pizza. I'd give that a go. But banana, that is dirty.
Banana. Or
Yeah,
banana.
It's
Banana.
haggis is
Banana.
haggis is sheep's stomach.
But it's tasty. No, that's what it's in.
Oh.
That's what you fill a sheep's stomach with. It's
Well,
offal, isn't it? And oats, barley, and herbs and spices. Loads of pepper. Loads of black pepper.
Huh.
Oh. Yuckus. It's
I
not
never had
haggis.
it before. I never had it.
Yuckus.
It was I heard it from the movie from there could be only one movie. What was it?
Highlander.
Highlander, right. He said it, haggis. It's speech stomach stuff with other stuff. That's how I knew what it was. Or else I wouldn't have known what it was.
Every year, don't I? When I have Burns night, because my wife's Scottish, so we do Burns night with her dad.
QE learns everything through movies.
No, I do not. Shut up.
Yes, you do. You don't
Shut
read
up.
books. You don't need books.
I don't read hardcover books.
Hardcover books. So that rules out titles too. My God.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't come further than 2 sentences.
Shut up. Tired of you
And
already.
then,
Go get your.
then we call it cherry picking.
Don't. Just I'm about tired of you. I haven't even talked to you the past 4 days. I'm just sick of you already. Why?
Okay, good. Then I can go and
Just go get your mother clucking pizza.
Ah, is that really? Did I get a go?
Is it gonna what?
Is that a go?
If you gotta eat, you gotta eat. I understand that.
Yeah, but I need to turn on the oven, and I have to.
Well, we're not gonna jump into the video right away. We're gonna employ some foreplay here before we get to the video.
Oh my goodness gracious! That's a novelty with guys.
I had a poem.
It's gonna be short and concise. Go on, Adam. Give your poem.
Well, I'm not going to read it all because it does go on, but it's about the haggis.
Good.
And it's going to be in Scots, so you'll have to excuse the accent because how can you do it? So maybe I'll criticise, but I'll just read the first verse. Fair your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the pudding race. Aboon them, ye tak your place, pinks tripe or them. Will ye your word of a grace, as lang's my arm. That's the first verse, but that's the address to the haggis. So on Burns night, when the haggis comes in, that you read that poem, one of his many famous poems.
So,
and that
translation?
You what?
Translation?
It's in Scottish, so there ain't really. It's kind of English.
Ain't really.
My goodness, you don't even know what it is.
Your honest, sonsy face. So that's like, look at how beautiful your puddingy texture is, isn't it? Great chieftain o' the pudding race. Well, that's like you're the king of puddings. Yeah. And then the rest, there's a few bits of words. Pinch, tripe, or them. I'm not sure exactly. I think the tripe would be the lining and stuff, but it goes on, and exact translation, it'd be easier in Dutch for me, to be honest, Patty.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it almost sounds like Old Dutch to me. Very, very Old Dutch to me. Well, the way you pronounce it, Adam, it makes it look almost like a pirate, like the.
I was trying to sound like my father-in-law.
Like Captain Sparrow, or something that he would say.
Captain Jack.
Yak.
No, not Yak. Captain Jack. Yeah, that's one of our family favorites, by the way.
Yeah. On Wednesday, they are going to do all. Not every Wednesday, they are going to do one of these movies. So I am now on. This Wednesday will be the third that I will.
It'll be the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I honor,
Yeah.
I celebrate the entire catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Just-
the old fashioned, like the fashion of the old fashioned.
I just like the humor that Johnny Depp has in that movie. He just cracks me up.
The way he moves and the way he acts.
Yeah.
Semi like feminine, but also very much masculine sometimes. And
Yes, it's an odd twist what he did with that.
yeah, it is. because it's really right down on that line that you think, or like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he makes it so interesting. Yeah. Hey, listen, Betty. You take out. Don't go get the pizza yet. Just give me about 90 seconds and stuff. You take over.
Yeah, so I take over, huh? In the middle of nothing. Unbelievable. So what do you guys feel about
May
Captain
I
Sparrow?
help? May I
Okay.
help, Syrinx?
Yeah, help me out here.
Be So
Yeah.
I wanted to get I wanted to get in a long time ago, but your conversation moves from chicken to movies to God knows where. So I finally got a chance. I had
Okay, good.
something interesting, some piece of trivia to share about India regarding chicken and everything. I'm eating
Ah,
KFC, by the way, right now, and there's a reason behind it. It is available in a small town in India, but I never order it because I cook my own chicken. I get my own chicken and cook it
mhm.
at home myself.
Ah,
But these 10 days,
We
twice a
can't
year
even hear
in
you.
India.
shut up, John.
Seriously.
Now we can hear you. Now I got to turn him up. Good. Good.
Okay, so these 10 days, twice a year in India, you don't even get meat, any kind of meat, either chicken or mutton or fish, in the regular shops in the marketplace.
Why the hell
You
not?
can procure because it's a holy Navratri. It's some
Okay.
thing to do with the calendar, and this happens twice a year. It is a ritual of a goddess, Ma Durga. So Navratri, you don't
Medusa.
get. She's known by various names in different cultures. She's the Isis of the Egyptians, and she's known by many other names. Here we call him Kali or Durga and many other names.
Astereth.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
That little vixen.
Oh,
That's
explains
Yep.
a lot. Okay, go on now.
yeah, the
Flat
Queen of
Earther.
Heaven. Astereth. Yeah. We're not going on.
Let
We're
him-
gonna
let him-
stop right here.
No, we're gonna
Semiramis.
go on.
She will rumpus me. Semiramis. Same thing.
I didn't even
Exactly.
get my 90 minutes for crying out loud.
It wasn't 90 minutes. It was 90 seconds.
You misspoke.
I did not. I didn't say minutes. I know what I said.
No, you don't, Granddad.
Misspoke.
Okay. So
Misspoke.
we're gonna go on. We're gonna get some Indian culture here, but
Yeah.
just before you start, can't you have some mutton and some chicken and whatever in the fridge or do you have fridges and freezers over there?
Yes, I do, but I don't like it. I want to get it fresh and cook. I don't like frozen meat because if you can get them fresh, why get it frozen?
Okay, fair enough. Go on with your culture. Sorry for the interruption.
That's all I wanted to share because you guys were talking about chicken and
So you
eating-
don't eat chicken and mutton and stuff because of Semiramis? Are you kidding me?
I am eating. That's what I said. It is available in the restaurants and in KFC, but you can't get them in the shops.
You friggin' heathens.
Well, the thing
Exactly.
is-
That's why it was so relevant to the discussion, but I never get the chance to get in.
Well, let me add to that because I'm thinking that's why they want us all here in the Western world not to eat any meat anymore, right? Because that's the spirit of Semiramis here, like ISIS and whatever. I'm thinking, wow, now it makes sense. They want us to have it like a different culture or like different sort of demonized like stuff going on. Sorry, Flat Arthur, for your heritage. I just ruined that for you.
I am way out that league, or thank God that I'm out of all that. And I was never so deep into it. I used to be an atheist, but
Oh.
yeah, that has been the culture, and that is the culture that our parents, our grandparents have been passing on to us.
What did it for you that you aren't an atheist anymore?
Flat effin earth.
Ah, nice. Good on you. Yep. All right, take over, QE. Your lead.
You going to get your pizza?
I think so, yeah, because now I'm hungry.
Now, is it going to be delivered, or do you have it frozen? Shout
If it
out
was
to
delivered.
Flat Earther. Do you have it frozen, or you going to make it?
It's frozen, but I need to turn on the oven first.
Oh,
So it
that's
needs-
really difficult.
And then I have to wait for the peep, and then I can put it in, and then I can eat.
Yeah, but that doesn't. That's weak. What do you mean? You got to turn on the oven. You can always come back and sit down. You're still on the show.
Yeah, but I need to get away there from the couch, and that's a big deal for me.
Oh, brother.
I will come back, but you guys will have moved on. I know that
No.
because you
No.
guys.
No, because this is why you said that last week and then you didn't.
Last week I wasn't even here.
The week before.
I did, but then you guys.
No,
wanted-
because then we saw you put yourself on server deafen as well.
Yeah, eventually, yes, and I will do that
blocked us out.
eventually too today. Yes, because you guys go on, and I'm not like. I don't have like any additional things to.
Yes, you
contribute.
do. Shut up.
No, I'm not. You guys are so onto this, and I don't want to intervene. And then I'm thinking about Christmas lists and birthdays to do, and
Yeah, but
grocery shopping.
you're gonna have you're gonna have some additions to Danny Faulkner.
Like what?
I don't know, but the one that she disappeared
I don't
in was Boy Zero, the Sky Grifter.
Boy Zero.
Yeah, Boy Zero, Sky Grifter, shits at zero.
See, that's how far out I am. I don't even know these names anymore.
Yeah, granted, it's a new name for him, a new moniker. Let's get it
Yeah.
right. It's Boy Zero, the Sky Grifter.
You know that I like the word grifter somehow. Because
Yeah.
there's a series that's called Leverage, and they have these grifters that are doing the right thing instead of the wrong thing.
Ah,
hmm
okay, that's quite interesting. Thanks for the story.
Some person one mind, one spirit says Betty needs a remote control oven.
A remote control oven, yeah. She's got a remote control dishwasher.
I
Or
did-
longer
No,
arms.
No, that's not really true.
Or
But it-
longer arms. That was classic.
I'm not Mr. Gadget, if you guys think so. Yeah. Well, thanks, Bible U. I like that series, Leverage. I think they have new ones, but I don't like it when the Timothy Hutton is not in there.
Oh, brother. Did you say Bible U? Bible U, do you have a show today? She's
Done
doing.
it.
One yesterday.
She's doing. Did she have one yesterday?
I think
It
I
was
saw
on
it.
before you started.
Or it was not premiered, but how do you say that? Announced.
So did she have a show earlier today?
About 6 o'clock, Neil went off to watch it. You disappeared, then Neil went off, I think, started watching it. Me and Brian finished chatting, then I went and caught the end.
No, I kidding. I didn't know she had a show.
Yep, she
Yeah,
just
she
hold
had-
on. She said she had a show today. Can you put the link in here? If it was Danny Faulkner, please post that link in here. Thanks.
Are you going to pin it?
I'm not getting any notifications for Paula. What the hell's going on here?
Shut up, Neil. Betty's talking. Yeah,
Did you guys
Betty.
ever had anything to say about the thumbnail? By the way.
He's not noticed. I said it to him the other day, right, Betty?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Neil? And I don't think he has still.
See, that's how sort of attentive people are, right?
Have you seen it,
Yeah.
Neil?
You can put the hiding place of like some criminal up into a thumbnail and nobody will see it.
There we go.
Huh.
She posted it. So let me get the hearts out of the way. I got to wait until it scrolls up, for God's sake.
What is that heart all about? It just appeared and it's just annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't do. Oh, there we go.
What's
All
it
right.
for?
I don't know. So there you go.
The
I
heart?
pinned it. So
Did the heart, Adam? The heart underneath? You mean?
Yeah.
You can sort of give hearts and during the show.
You too.
Or clap hands. Yeah, you can see that.
If I press that button,
Yeah.
what I've pressed it. Now a heart. Oh, a load of hearts. Am I
Yeah.
blowing kisses to myself or what? Have you seen my hearts that I've just put on?
I just see
Yeah,
them
no,
floating up.
I see hundreds now.
Yeah,
I do that.
Well, that's just distracting, isn't it?
it is.
Digital confetti.
Digital confetti.
For a guy like you, Adam, it is confusing.
I didn't say confusing. Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I've got a cornucopia. Ooh, smiley face. Smiley face. Surprise face.
Well, see how you are like very much into it now. It was made for you. Oh,
Is that
everybody's yours.
interesting? Ah, there you go. Stop it. I'm going to stop it now.
Yeah.
Did you know, right, Benny? QE was doing science yesterday.
Wow.
Eclipse science.
Eclipse science. Is that science?
I think it
Or
was.
Is it just observing a phenomena?
No. Testing. Empirical it was, because he shot his bow. Was it, what was it? What level? Virtually 100% totality, was it? 94%.
It was
And he was
94.
spot on.
It was just before it went to 94%. Yes.
Were you at 94% of the moon eclipse?
Yes.
Moon eclipse, I said. See, there you go. Liar.
Oh. You liked that, Adam, didn't you? She Jedi mind tricked me just with just a little switch of the tongue.
There you go. See how easy it is?
And quick to be a liar already.
It was not even a breath. After getting confirmation, not even a breath before the accusation arrived.
It's like it wasn't even contrived.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
You totally deserved it, QE.
Shut up, flat earther. I'll put you on mute. Friggin' Johnny
Only
Five.
94%. Not totality deserved it. But it was proven that eclipses have no effect on QE's accuracy, I think.
Huh. Well, how many times did he shoot that arrow then?
3.
3 bullseyes.
And did you also do it with darts?
No, it was outside, Betty. It was in the garage.
No, I mean, it's just another method, right? And the variable is changed. Not arrows, but darts. So accuracy is not proven.
Oh, did you see this? It was the Raleigh Criterion put a good little GIF in chat. I'll put it on. Watch it. It's really cute. Watch this.
You're laughing, but we are not seeing it yet.
That's too bad for you. I like that one. That one's my favorite one. Cute little babushkas in there, boy.
Can you start the show already? What's
Shut
going on,
up.
man?
We can't start. Brian's not here.
Why would Brian be here?
He should be here. He told me he was going to be here in the beginning because we can't start the show because I went past the part that we're going to start on now because Brian wasn't here. And I said, Brian, you better get your butt in here at the beginning of the show so we can start the show out. He said, yeah, Q, yeah, I'll be here. You know what I mean?
He told me to clear off about 6:30, right? That's why I saw Paula's show. Thought, oh, that's where Neil's gone. Yeah. Because he says, because I've got to get there for QE or I'll be in trouble. So.
It's 30 minutes. He's 30 minutes late.
Maybe he slipped in the shower.
Slipped in the shower, maybe bumped his head on a friggin' potato tree limb.
He's probably in a chicken pizza pie.
Friggin' Irish.
Well, maybe he ate that fish pie that Adam gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes him queasy.
Easy, he's in the hospital.
He's not.
About 3-year-old. Yeah.
3-year-old pizza. Pizza pie.
If he comes in singing "Oh Danny Boy," we'll let him off.
Oh, Danny boy.
It could be the way QE treats people, you know, sometimes.
Shut the hell up, Neil.
Yeah, Neil, check out the thumbnail, man.
I treat people with respect.
Yeah, you're in the thumbnail.
I made another thumbnail? Wow.
No, you are in the thumbnail.
Do you not see it, Neil?
No, he's Italian.
No.
On the phone.
I'm on a phone. I can't see things when I'm on a phone.
Yeah. That's what you
Motherfucker.
do. That's why you make these nice thumbnails, right? So that people can enjoy them.
What's
It's all the
motherfucker?
effort to have a little dig at someone, don't you, Betty? And he doesn't have the decency to even notice, you cheap insulter.
Exactly, Adam.
Hang out of
Thank
order,
you.
Neil.
Hmm.
Well, Brian's departure, or not non-entrance, has given me a chance to hit in on this fruit salad, and I'm gonna have to say, this thing sucks. The pineapple's friggin' bad. The kiwis are hard. Only the cantaloupe's good. Somebody's gonna have to give an answer to this.
Does it taste like chicken?
Hell no.
Well, then it's good.
It's not good. It's there's no love in here except for the cantaloupe.
Because everything that you eat is chicken-like.
There's no chicken. It's pineapple, kiwi, and cantaloupe. You
I
glue
know,
sniffer.
but you are the chicken chucker, right?
You're the mother clucker.
See, that's
Make
the
no
problem.
mistake. Shut up, Neil.
You can't add cantaloupe with that. It's not going to be sweet enough with the other ones.
Shut up. Who asked you?
Unbelievable.
All right, let me check Discord. I'm not going to wait too much longer because people came here for the show. And guess what,
Yeah.
Brian? We're going to do the parts that you were supposed to be here for.
Okay, Granddad, start already.
You're all right. I've rang him twice, but he's arrived.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's top right. He's top right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's. So we're at 33 minutes late for you, Irish. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You better have a good damn reason.
Adam held me up.
Told you. Didn't I tell you, QE?
We were talking about the Bible, to be fair. Now you can't castigate me, can you? Oh, no.
No,
I can still castigate. Don't you worry about that. Shut up, Brian. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Yeah, it was Adam's fault.
I'll take it on the chin.
Oh my God! Everyone's rumpusing each other.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but in the chat, some people say pineapples on pizzas are bad.
Pineapple on pizza. We already talked about that. That's ace.
If the pineapples of you'll be speaking in tongues, Kiwi.
No, my mouth's full.
You don't speak in tongues, right?
Betty, go get your damn pizza. For God's
Just
sake.
admit it. You don't speak in tongues, right?
Brian,
Yeah.
what was the real reason why you're late? I want a justifiable reason.
Because I kept Adam talking too long. And then I had to do some physical exercises and then grab a shower. I just couldn't come onto the show without a shower. I needed a shower since yesterday. So I had to have a shower.
Well, after listening to
You do.
Danny, you're going to need another one.
He does smell bad. Stunk me. I want to say out.
Stop mumbling, Adam. Speak up.
No. I'll leave
Nope.
it there.
No.
He's
No,
still doing
did you
it.
say no?
He
to
said,
that?
"I do smell better." He said, He said, "You were smelling a bit funky earlier." That's what he said.
All right. This is really, really
He's-
starting to
he said
Hold
aggravate
on
me.
a second. I gotta say something real quick. Don't interrupt me, please. Elder Bear, you stupid son of a
Hey,
bitch.
shut up. Don't bring him. Shut up, Neil. Why are you bringing him in here?
That's some stupid messages to stand. What am I gonna stand up for, Elder Bill, Elder Bear, Edda Bear, whatever the frick your name is? What am I gonna stand up for?
What the hell are you doing on my show?
Sending me
Elder
messages.
Bear is irrelevant.
I don't
No,
care
he's
about
talking
your
about-
messages, Neil.
I'll stand up and crush your head.
I'll tell you what. You're gonna get mooted.
Kumbaya, my lord.
He starts answering messages on the show. What kind of
bit
shit
random,
is that?
It's very random. This is what happens, Ben, when you threaten to just leave all the time.
Alrighty then.
All right, bye, Betty. We're gonna start,
Yep. Bye, John.
but you better be back here. We're gonna check up on you.
It's airplanes. Stay for the airplanes bit, Betty.
Airplanes?
Yeah, airplanes, Betty. Airplanes. That's gonna be
I
the first
need
topic.
to have a translation here. What are you saying?
Airplanes. Danny's gonna
Yeah,
talk about airplanes. Danny and the numpty pastor are gonna bring up
Oh.
airplanes.
Oh, interesting. Well, I will have the sound on.
Your recourse is to have the sound off.
On! On!
All right, fair enough.
Unbelievable.
All right, let me get
Later,
ready.
guys.
Bye. Let me get ready here, folks.
Say hi.
Now what?
I said hi, say hi.
Yeah,
In response to your bye.
mother.
Bye.
Ugh. Right.
Enjoy your food, Betty.
Shut up, Flatsy.
Thanks, Flatchy. That's a nice thought.
That's a nice.
Yeah.
What are you, Italian?
It's nice that someone says that.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being abused by you guys.
Shut up. Betty, go get your pizza. Stop interrupting the show.
Enjoy it, Betty.
Thank you, guys. I won't be interrupting no more.
Yes, you will. You'll be back right after you snuff that pizza down.
You'll be back by 8 o'clock. It can't take much longer than 22 minutes to eat a pizza.
Well, she's got to bake it and everything. All right.
Slow oven, weren't it?
Let me get my act together here. Why isn't that showing up? Oh, I know why. Because I don't have the screen up. It helps. Okay. All right. You guys going to get ready? Make sure mic discipline. All right. If you got a objection, say up, halt, like that, something to that effect. You guys, we'll get a sound check here, and then I'll pull a fiver, and then we'll start. Got it? Everyone out there, we good? So you all waited 39 minutes, and now we're gonna get started. And if you got a complaint about that, send it to the complaint department. This is how we run business around here.
That's Betty.
That's Betty. That's the complaint department. You send it to Betty. All right, we'll get a sound check on this. 5 seconds, I'll stop it, and then we'll go from there. Here we go.
A bonus question. Mark Sargent didn't posit this one, but I've seen it.
Okay, you got a bonus question. Everyone hear that?
Yes.
Why is it a bonus question?
We'll get into that in a second. The only question now is, did you hear it? Obviously, you did.
What?
I'm going to give you what for. All right. Here we go.
A bonus question. Mark Sargent didn't posit this one, but I've seen it a lot. There's a lot of videos about this. So on long distance.
Pause.
Jeez.
Now I know why it's a bonus question. It's not. It's just a made-up straw man question. He's made it up. He's heard it said a lot.
Yes.
So this is his. No, but the point I'm making here. So this is his. He's added this in because he wants this question addressing.
Yes. It's sort of an anecdotal thing. It's okay.
I'm just looking to motivation, or why we choose the term bonus. It's odd language.
That is odd language, but
bonus
Brian,
to him.
But Brian, he wants to get in. I could hear him over there chirping. What, Brian?
No, this is extremely telling. The fact that this question is not from Mark Sargent at all. Why are they bringing this in? Because this is like they know when it comes to this topic and the public, there's no topic that can destroy their claims faster and easier than airplanes.
Then this one.
That's why they're bringing it in. Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad he brought it in. Here we go.
Flights. Long distance flights.
Let's go back because we've been interrupted by friggin' Brian Adams. In the summer of '69.
Bonus question. Mark Sargent didn't posit this one, but I've seen it a lot. There's a lot of videos about this. So on long distance flights.
No, it's just not long distance flights, you crayon muncher. On any flight with some distance, and we're going to go over that in a minute.
Long distance flights.
It's not long distance flights, numpty.
Say if the Earth is curved, then airplanes, you get on a international flight.
It doesn't have to be an international flight, glue sniffer. My God, get it.
And it's a curved Earth, not a globe.
This guy's a knucklehead.
The airplane would be constantly having to dip its nose down to.
Yeah, dip its nose, or either or decelerate to drop in altitude. Yes, it makes perfect sense. This is second grade logic, right? Idiot.
Go around the curve, and yet planes don't dip their nose.
Therefore, the Earth is flat. Thank you very much. That's why Brian said it's right up there, 1A, 1B, 1C, as proof for a flat Earth that every knuckle dragger that's ever been on a plane knows as prima facie. So you're screwed. Thanks for bringing this up.
They just stay level. Actually, the nose is, I think, just slightly tilted up. But
yeah, even more of an indictment.
But they say if the Earth is curved, it would constantly have to be adjusting down to hug the curve.
Yeah, the ground. It would have to maintain altitude. You don't got the argument right. We're going to get it right here.
No.
Shut up.
That's wrong.
This is aerodynamics. The aerodynamics is no prerequisite of hugging required.
Right. It's to maintain altitude. That's what he should have said. Right? Yes?
No.
Yeah.
No, because descent in altitude is one thing. Orientation to the center of gravity is the purpose of the nose. And as you said, you can mitigate for altitude in other methodologies.
What, but besides
Reorientating
descending?
yourself and the gyroscope with relation to having traversed the spherical surface is not hugging.
Yeah, we got that part, Adam. But what he's trying to say is to maintain altitude, the plane would have to either dip its nose or decelerate.
No, there's no way to maintain an altitude.
It's yes.
No.
Yes.
No, this is right, Brian. No. This is why I needed you here, right? Because this is Martin Cuy's, and we're not arguing. He just won't let me have it, and I won't let him have this one.
Oh, you're going to let me have it because I'll put you on move.
Both points, the different points, they are commensurate with each other, and it depends how the baller is going to try and paint their paradigm.
Yes, it does. Correct. Yeah. Okay,
well,
let's roll on.
Yeah, and are you aware of what they
yeah. Are you aware? Clown.
usually say the rate of diving is on that?
The rate of diving
The
would
number I've
depend.
seen is that
The rate of diving would depend on a number of different things, Abby. What the heck? I'm thinking about my daughter. That would depend on a couple of different things there, but you don't pay attention to detail, do you? He's just mindlessly parroting the surface puke because that descent, the rate of descent, will depend on your speed and distance. It's just not one thing. It's just not one. You clown of an idiot.
And of course, it would depend also on your speed, your distance, your altitude, and R is the most determinant factor in it all.
Thanks. We've already assumed.
We don't have R.
Yeah,
we've
already assumed that.
We adjust for altitude.
We've already assumed that's in the calculation, Adam. Thanks.
they usually say the rate of diving is on that. The number I've seen is that there's something like a half mile every minute.
2,778 feet per minute, traveling at 500 miles per hour, Danny. For 500 miles, it's not 2,778 feet for every flight, Danny. You moron. You would fail. Intro, this is second grade maths. We're going to go over it here in a second.
I've heard that claim. Every minute, the plane would have to dive like 2,700 feet.
Yes. If you're traveling 500 miles an hour, 500 miles, yes, on average.
Well, let's think about that just a minute.
Yeah, we've already thought about it. I'm going to think about it right now for you and just expose your dumbass. Tell me if you guys are getting this. Going to the Globe Terminator.
Yeah, your website, yeah.
Flight. You see this? You need to go here. It's all written up for you. At least they're getting into some type of proofs, right? Or actual proofs. And instead of these straw man 2015 feebly pathetic offerings, right? So this is going to be very easy. And any incoherent second grader is going to understand it. So this is to you, Danny. Not so much to the dumbass beside you. Since the Earth is, as we're told, a sphere of 25,000 miles in circumference, radius 3,959 miles, then pilots traveling for 1 hour at a typical cruising speed of 500 miles an hour to simply maintain altitude would constantly have to adjust their altitudes downwards to compensate for the curvature and descend on average 2,789 feet every minute. Now, that's only for this little 1 hour at 500 miles an hour. Then this number is appropriate. But it's going to change if this number changes and or distance or time changes. Idiot. Now, to negotiate the drop that we just identified above specifically, I really don't care. The plane can barrel roll, split S, wing over, tail slide, slow roll, cubinate, falling leaf, the chandeli, or the hokey pokey, but it must descend. And the key point here is everyone on a plane will know it. Is this clear, Smurfers? So let's go through the simple second grade math. A, how many miles of vertical drop geometric must be negotiated over a distance of 500 miles on a ball with a circumference of 25,000 miles? Answer, simple, 31.7 miles. How many feet are in 31.7 miles? Answer, 167,376 feet. You tracking so far, Danny? I doubt it. Ask your slobber nurses for some help. But for the rest of us, so 167,376 feet of vertical drop must be negotiated over 500 miles on the Earth. Number one, real world. I'm traveling by commercial plane from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers. That's 70 Steelers, by the way. To Atlanta, Georgia for the Super Bowl. Approximate distance is 500 miles. 2, typical cruising speed of a commercial airliner is 500 miles an hour. This is where it's going to get really difficult, Danny. You go 500 miles distance at 500 miles per hour. That equals a travel time of 1 hour. So, question. How many feet of vertical drop per minute on average needs to be negotiated on my trip? As we identified above, total feet vertical drop over 500 miles is 167,376 feet. The travel time is 1 hour. We're looking for minutes of feet per drop. So it's a really simple calculation. It's 167,376 feet divided by 60 minutes. So the answer is, Danny, on that trip, total 2789.6 feet of vertical drop per minute on average must be negotiated by the plane on my trip. Does this ever happen? Nope. The sphere is a stone cold fairy tale. Now I'm going to give you a second example, Danny. This is going to throw your little mindless parrot of 2789 feet per minute off the reservation. You ready? Watch how I do this. B, how many miles of vertical drop, geometric that is, must be negotiated over a distance of 1,000 miles on a ball with a circumference of 25,000 miles? Answer, 128.3 miles. How many feet are in 128.3 miles? Answer, 677,424 feet. So, 677,424 feet of vertical drop must be negotiated over 1,000 miles on the Earth with your sphere tard. We're going back to a real-world example again. I'm traveling by commercial plane from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers, the 70 Steelers, by the way, to Dallas, Texas. They succumbed a couple times to those 70 Steelers, by the way, but I digress. A, approximate distance is 1,000 miles. Typical cruising speed is 500 miles an hour. This is where it gets tricky, Danny. 1,000-mile distance at 500 miles per hour equals a travel time of 2 hours. That's 120 minutes of total travel time. So, question. How many feet of vertical drop per minute on average needs to be negotiated on my trip, on this new trip? As we said above, total feet of vertical drop over 1,000 miles on a sphere tard is 677,424 feet. Travel time is 2 hours. Again, this is a simple calculation. We're looking for minutes, right? How many feet of vertical drop per minute over that 2 hour time frame? So what? See, gets really tricky, Danny. It's not 2789 feet anymore. Yeah, because the distance is longer. The answer is 5,645 feet of vertical drop over a freaking mile per minute on average must be negotiated by the plane on my trip. This is really simple. Like I said, second grade maths. You're an idiot. Egypt. Let's pound away some more at it. Modus tollens. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If commercial planes travel at 500 miles an hour for 2 hours, that's 1,000 miles, over a sphere tard with a radius of 3959 miles, P, it would then have to descend/negotiate 128.3 miles of vertical drop over the course of its journey, Q. Commercial planes do not descend 128.3 miles while traveling at 500 miles an hour for 2 hours. That is, they fly level or slightly above level. That's not Q. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere. Therefore, not P. Alice in Wonderland is more tenable than a ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. The prosecution rests simple. You live in a fairy tale. The end, Danny. Comments or questions on that? Or was I on mute the whole time?
Yeah. We've been singing Kumbaya.
I figured.
Back.
I figured.
Yeah, listen to the words. Listen to what's being described. I think the important thing I'd say is it's This straight line distance is set by the plane, and in all of our claims, it's set by the gyroscopes they use to maintain straight and level flight. Over this time period, this is what we're discussing, knowing that the planes are undergoing straight and level flight, because that's what's been determined by the gyroscopes, your artificial horizon that the pilot's using. So all of these numbers, they need to deal with. It's not a straw man. Unfortunately, it's a consequence of traveling over a sphere. All of this.
Yes. Exactly. Let's see what. I can't even talk. Let's see how this numpty dipshit of epic proportions is going to try to feebly walk around this land minefield.
So the plane's going 550 miles an hour.
Steve.
That's
I
about
want to say something later.
Yeah, way later.
8 miles, a little over 8 miles, 8 2/3 miles in 1 minute.
So why? No. Danny. You have to take the total trip distance and the time. Not over 1 mile, Danny. You friggin' bozo. Oh, man.
Now they like to quote the 8 inches per mile squared.
Oh, boy.
Right.
So if you run through that, you end up with maybe 40-some feet of drop.
He's doing it over 1 mile. Or is it squared mile? I don't even know what he's doing. He's a fucking idiot.
I know what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing.
Good. Yep. Because he's retarded.
No, he's being a sneaky.
No, that's not sneaky. That's not sneaky at all. Not at all.
So where did the other 2,730 feet go?
You got to take the whole distance into account there, Danny, idiot. You clown of a dumbass. That's why. Look at him laughing over here. He doesn't even know his own name.
The problem there, if you think
the problem there is you'd fail second grade intro to maths. That's the problem.
About it, and it has to do with that squared relationship, and that's what's.
Oh, does it? Yeah, over that long a distance, it does. Yes.
What's befuddling him here?
No, it didn't befuddle us. We understand it implicitly, and I just exposed you. You can't recover. So anything you say beyond this point is going to be a belly-laughing fiasco. But go on.
And if you, by the way, if you do it, if you do the and I talk about this in my book, if you do the calculation over a minute, then over a second.
If you do the calculation over a second, you freaking clown you. So how many people fly for a second? Bozo.
That amount of dive per minute gets less and less and
less every. How about a fraction of a second? How about a plank time, Danny?
Less, and it vanishes, which is the nature
of it. Vanishes. There's no. You don't have to do any negotiating. They're over any curve. Thanks, Danny. Welcome to Flat Earth. Snacks are in the back. Bathrooms on the left. DJ spinning requests. Smoke them if you got them.
Can I say something now?
Maybe.
You won't be unhappy. What Danny needs to take into account is that it's not over a second. It's a second-by-second accumulation.
Yes.
So if a plane is flying at 500, or say a pilot has it flying at 500 miles per hour, that means from the moment that plane reaches cruising altitude, that's the only second that plane can be horizontal, or let's just say level, right? Because after that, from second to second, for that whole hour, the pilot will have to have an accumulated below horizontal pitch, resulting in, at the end of that hour, the pilot must be 7.24 degrees below the starting cruising altitude. Now, they'd never make it that far in reality, because as soon as they're dipped below horizontal, right, below level, they're officially descending. So they'd career into the ground.
Yep.
That's what would happen in reality. So him talking about a second means nothing to me, because I go, well, what about the second, the third second, the fourth second, the fifth second? Then we get to a minute, then the second minute, third minute, fourth minute. Right? Where is this accounting for the 7.24 degrees at 500 miles per hour over 1 hour? Because that's going to accumulate more over 2 hours and 3 hours from its starting position. They don't do that because they can't. Because as soon as the core line of those wings is not at an above horizontal, it has to be slightly above horizontal, then the plane won't be generating enough lift to account for its weight. Because the core line of the wings needs to be above horizontal to generate 100% positive lift to account for 100% of the plane. Regardless of the wing type, I don't care what wing type people want to argue about. As soon as that core line is below horizontal, that is the end of that. Not only is it falling out of the sky, but it's officially descending. So Danny has absolutely nothing here. None of them do. It can't, and they don't. And by the way, they're not accounting for rotation either. There is absolutely no way out of this.
Yep.
The lift effect, the very reason that the plane flies, debunks Danny's claim.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. He's just a feeble retard. Look at him. He's not accounting for the curvature beneath their feet. That's it.
He's trying to account for 1 second of time. And that is really, in my opinion, and I'm sure Adam will back me up here, that is really low-life mathematics. Because he's trying to lie to the public with maths.
I've always said you can make this weak argument if all you're dealing with is the altitude. But there are other consequences of flying over the ball. Now, we can come to those later, but if we're just dealing with just altitude, there's a level of permissibility in his argument that you go, oh yeah, but the reality is we don't do that. What we certainly pilots aren't doing is adjusting every second, is his claim, so it's just not even noticeable. And we'll get on to what you'd have to adjust, but just dealing with altitude, the reality is no, you're in straight and level flight and you've got instrumentation that's keeping you in straight and level flight. And that instrumentation is based on a gyroscope. Okay, so it's going to create a straight line vector. It will be parallel from your initial point, because that's why they take so long to stabilize the gyros on the ground before you take off, to make sure they're accurate to the parallel plane when they navigate. And that's once you're up there and you're in straight level flight for these amounts of times that have been demonstrated, this is what the plane is doing. It isn't mitigating, as QE's saying. Yeah? It isn't doing that. And even if you could pretend you're doing it, there are other issues. But it's interesting that that's his rebuttal, that he goes to, as you say, weak mathematics. Yeah, it's a bit like Earth rotation. If I just pretended it's like, what is it, 300, what, 24 hours is 360 degrees. That's such a slow angular rate. If I describe it like that, I can pretend it's of no consequence. As I said earlier, there are many consequences to traveling on a ball. And if your initial statement is I'm flying in straight and level flight, which is determined by a gyroscope, that and its accumulation of altitude, i.e. because the ball's falling away from you, yeah, that's the issue. The ball is excuse me, my phone there. The ball's falling away as you maintain your straight and level flight. That's what's been described in the maths and what he's trying to mitigate by saying you can deal with it every second. Well, okay. They don't, do they? So how do we deal with it? We have sudden 100-foot drops every 10 minutes.
Well, the thing about it is that if you're flying at 6 miles above, if you're a commercial aircraft, a piloting commercial aircraft, and you're 6 miles above the Earth's surface, and you're holding that exact altitude, then if you were to fly around the globe then you've got to fly around the globe with that added 6 miles. That means you've got to make a circle that's 6 miles exactly from mean sea level of that globe, right? That means you can't not fly and bring your nose down to follow that altitude. You have to. Because if I was flying from London to Perth, what will happen is because I'm flying from way up north of a globe to heading past the equator of a globe to, I think Perth is 32 degrees south latitude, I'm going to end up at the equator. I'm going to end up almost like vertically nose up, which is called a stall, right? Planes fall out of the sky like that. But when I get to Perth, I'm going to be almost upside down. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. If I'm going to follow the globe, and I'm on a globe, then I have to nose down to follow the curvature. That is it. There's no way around it. Otherwise, when I get to Perth, I'll have to keep on dropping in thrust to continually drop in altitude. And then when I get to Perth, I'll be 3/4 the way upside down. So do planes come into Perth from London 3/4 the way upside down? No, because it's not a globe.
No, but the path that they followed according to their gyroscopes would dictate that that's what's happened. When they're in straight and level flight, as dictated by the gyroscopes, that would be the consequence. As they do descend, they've got this we'll just stick with the altitude for now. They've got this accumulated altitude they've gained by maintaining straight and level flight as the ball falls away. That's the point they're not dealing with.
Yes.
You can pretend you are, but you're not dealing with it, mate. You're just giving a hand wave mathematical.
Just second grade retard hand wave mathematical.
Yeah. Okay.
This is pathetic. Go on, wax on,
Adam,
Danny.
I just want to say I understand what Adam's saying. That's my point as well, is that if they're to fly as they normally fly, then there's no way for them to continually gain in altitude. If we're talking about a globe, that's what they're going to do. They're going to continually gain in altitude because they're flying straight while they're not addressing, because on a globe, that altitude is a circle. If you don't follow that circle, then you're going to knock out into heliocentric space.
On a globe,
sorry,
that sphere tard is falling away from you. So you have to adjust for it. This is simple. This is a second grader in betwixt iterations of Candy Crush understand this implicitly. That's what the level we're at here, PhD astronomer. Go ahead, train wreck yourself some more.
Behavior. And what they're doing here is they're importing a flat Earth idea.
We're importing a flat Earth idea into what?
Into the globe Earth.
Into the globe Earth. Really? How are we doing that?
Okay.
Now, the late Rob Skiba.
Now we're going to get some incoherent color from the late Rob Skiba on your freaking belly laugher premise that you're clueless of. You think you're going to talk your way out of this? You little Elmer Fudd sophist.
I didn't know that air flight is a flat Earth idea. I'm pretty sure it's a well-known concept,
Yep.
You mean an aeroplane? How they work? Aeroplane.
Yes.
How aeroplanes work is come on, and
that's just a flat Earth concept, Adam. Just shut up about it. My God.
Used to give a talk where he cautioned globe earthers not to import globe ideas into the flat Earth.
What does this have to do with anything, Danny? Another incoherent straw man. You're just diverting away, mesmerizing your idiot audience, or his idiot audience. There's no way out. You're already exposed. Mae West is in the corner blushing.
Earth, which is a fair criticism, but it works both ways. If we shouldn't import globe ideas onto the flat Earth,
oh my God,
and you shouldn't, when critiquing the globe Earth, import a flat Earth idea, and whether you.
What's the idea that what's being imported and exported, Danny? Dumbass.
Think the Earth is a globe or not? This is what it is. If the Earth is a globe, the Earth is spherical like this, and the atmosphere is
a paradox. My God, atmo means air. Air is a gas. Sphere is a shape. Gases have no inherent shape, Danny.
symmetrical. As a shell around that.
Not a shell around that, Danny. You would literally fail first grade intro to gas behavior. Let's see where we're at here.
Shell around what? Just need a J there.
Yeah, we'll get a J in a second. I'm not done yet. So, gases have no shape. So, this is from Christy Bodak from Southwestern University, Danny. If an object is in a gaseous state of matter, it will not have a definite shape or a definite volume. She says, grade level, I will use this lesson with a first grade class. At validating what I just said, that Danny would literally fail first grade intro to gas behavior. Chem Libretex also states it. Well, duh. Like liquids, gases have no definite shape. Professor of Chemistry and Engineering. The remarkable feature of gases is they appear no structure at all. They neither have a definite size nor shape. You finished, Danny, on this point, too. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I just want to hear the J because I'm not sure what he's on about. It sounded like he was invoking containment.
If the Earth is a globe, the Earth is spherical like this, and the atmosphere is a symmetrical. As a shell around that, having the same sort of curvature.
So he is doing that. Would that you could shell firmament? You might also use if you were trying to invoke a ball to maintain natural law of gas pressure. Just interesting language again. When you use a kind of shell.
Look at this clown.
Around it, hugs it.
Right.
And so
he said it hugs it.
See, Nathan, the other day, if you're going to use a word, it needs defining. When he said hugging, I had to come on. Yeah? It's obviously physicsy, really, now. Danny's used it twice.
Yeah.
So if you start over here at one, say, on the East Coast, and you go up, you're going to find the same sort of profile of density and so forth as you would on the West Coast.
What does this have to do with the argument, you dumbass?
He's train wrecking himself.
Yep.
Because he's just said the atmosphere, which is making a sphere of air pressure around his globe, right? What is altitude? When it comes to
measured from mean
altitude,
sea level.
And how did they determine the altitude in an airplane? With the air pressure.
Yes.
At that altitude. So that means to follow that air pressure, they have to, or if they were flying around the globe, they have to dip their nose.
Follow
down. It around. Yeah.
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Yep.
Different directions, of course, but you're going outward, which is above the Earth in either case. So when a plane is flying along, if you put it on autopilot, or if you're just trying to control your plane, you want to maintain a constant altitude. That is a constant altitude above the surface of the Earth, regardless of what shape that Earth has.
Regardless of what the shape that Earth has, you doofus monkey. What?
You see, what he's done is he's inadvertently gone back to 1985 and started playing Scramble, which is on a flat Earth. Yeah. Oh, yes, up and down, up and down. That's all you'd have to do. Up and down, up and down. You would not have to reorientate at all, would you? Because the surface orientation is flat. But if you've got something that's falling away and changing its orientation of down away from you as you continue in a straight line from your point of origin, that's your issue, Danny. He's not recognizing consequences of traversing a ball. Just altitude, Danny.
Yeah, he's a moron.
He's trying to deflect away from the nosing down.
Yes.
In the reason, I'm trying not to say too much until he's said his explanation, but he's not really dealt with yet nosing down, which is the crux, which is the point of reorientation required for aerodynamics to continue working. Brian will come to that, I assume, but let him play. Let's tear them up a bit.
has, and you're going to trim the wings and the other control surfaces on the plane so that you're going to maintain that constant, say, 35,000 feet elevation.
That's important. Yes, I agree. You could do that. I mean, they don't. They're not constantly trimming wing. Imagine if you trim the wing and then you traverse a bit more. You got to trim a bit more wing. Where's your wing going to end up? It doesn't quite work out. Do you trim the wing, drop that bit that you've just done, bring it quickly back, and then trim it again and bring it back? That's what I'm saying. In QE's slides, there are consequences that nobody experiences on a flight to mitigate for this. And this is what Danny's giving. Nobody experiences it. Okay.
Yep.
When he's talking about trimming the wings, and he's talking about 38,000 feet, that's an altitude to have to hold. And to get to that altitude to hold it, you'd need to be able to generate lift. Now, the trimming he's talking about to hold an altitude is based off of how much pitch they require to hold that altitude while flying at that airspeed. If they want to fly a bit faster, they will pitch down slightly, never at horizontal or below. They'll pitch to +2 degrees. If they want to fly slower, they'll pitch to about +6 degrees. On average, it'd be about +3 to +4 degrees. Between +3 and +5 degrees. That's what they'll hold on average. So at an average airspeed, right, at cruising altitude, 38,000 feet, they'll have a pitch that's directly in line, an above horizontal pitch that's directly in line with their actual airspeed, whether it's 500, 475 or 550 miles per hour, wherever it is. They'll have a pitch that is suitable to that for them to hold an altitude. That means not gaining or losing lift, right? Because if they slow down and keep the same pitch, they will lose lift. So they'll lose altitude. If they speed up and keep the same pitch, they will gain lift, so gain altitude. So what he's just talking about is the lift effect, the very thing that can't work over a spherical surface. He's a bozo.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, it would change, Brian, as he tried to invoke earlier. This is the trouble with his mathematical mitigation. The lift effect, the thing that's actually keeping you up there, that would be changing second by second. That would be. You would actually be struggling here. You leave it for a minute, you got a problem. The whole orientation of the, because they're only talking small parts of a degree, but that's sufficient when we're talking about the lift effect. Just the same as like slightly trimming your arrows. That's very small movement has an effect because it's adjusting the passage of the air, changing the uplift. Yeah? That's going to change second by second if you're traversing a ball in a straight line path with the orientation of down changing because the surface is a sphere. Consequences of traveling over a ball.
Yes, and if you did, I would know it. If that plane drops 20 feet, and it's not just me, anyone that's ever flown in commercial airliners or any airliner is going to know when that plane drops. I don't give, if it's 10 to 20 feet, I know it. If I'm awake, I know it.
Well, can I just add some extras here? That when they want to change altitude, I will. When they want to change altitude, they've got to request from the ground to say they need to change altitude to whatever, go up how many thousand feet or down how many thousand feet. And the reason they have to do that is because there's other planes above them and below them, and if they've got to get into a lane, that means that they're not going to hit into another plane or get into the path of another plane. So they've got to request when they want to change from 35 to 38,000.
Yeah, that's a good point.
48 to 4. Yeah. And secondly, when they do want to go down at a let's say, when they do want to drop an altitude fast, right? I've been on planes, and just like when they're coming into land, they will dip the nose below horizontal, right? So when they do that, they're losing lift and they're going down towards the surface.
Yes.
Right? Yep. And everyone has to be what? Including the staff, in seats with their belts on, all the trolleys put away. These things can't happen in reality without that happening because they're dropping So everyone must be everything and everyone must be safely stored away. So every flight would be used safely stored away for the whole flight.
Yep, and you know it. Yeah, this isn't a mystery.
And when they do that, and because not all flights do it, a lot of time you get a very smooth descent, and you never get this dip. But if you did get the dip, which could be passed off as the reorientation for the amount of angles you've generated by traveling in straight flight, what they don't do is you don't just dip and then come straight in on a smooth landing. They then reorientate the plane back up again, because that dip has caused a massive change in the aerodynamics, forcing the plane to plummet. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not reorientating to any changing surface, because if it had, like I said, those angles you've redone would not only mitigate for the altitude, but it will also mitigate for the change in orientation of the ground. They don't. They have to bring the plane back up and level it back the same parallel vector that they started with on the ground and when they were in straight flight. That's the principles of flying.
I paid attention the last time I flew back from Chicago. I was very clearly paying close attention at cruising altitude, and then when we started to get close, I said, "Okay, let's go. What do we got here?" And he goes, "Prepare for descent." Right, and everyone, especially of longer flights, you hear that sigh of relief, like, all right, it's about time we're getting off this plane, right? But it's going to take a while. We all know that. But anyway, I said, okay, what you going to do? You going to slow this mug down, or are you going to dip that nose? Guess what he did? He dipped that nose big time. That's exactly what he did. And like Adam said, we didn't come all the way down at once. We came down to a certain altitude, then leveled out again. And then guess what we did? Did it all over
again. Did it
dip again? Yes, sir.
If you were to...
this is my favourite argument, guys. My number one favourite argument, the flight. Always is.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
If you were to suddenly start rising because you're going in a straight line and the Earth is curving, then you would actually increase in altitude.
Yeah, that's right, Danny. You would. Not maintaining your altitude, yes.
The air gets thinner up there.
Oh, that's really important. What color is it?
Yeah.
And the plane would not be able to make that climb. It's
okay, he's not climbing. The surface is descending. He's not climbing. He's maintaining that level flight. He's not thrusting or anything. The damn surface beneath him's curving away. You moron. You don't know what your religion states, do you?
Actually trying to, when you trim it properly, it's...
Now he's into trimming it. What a clown.
So this is an important point. How much trim has he got? Because the amount of trim will depend on the amount of distance you need to travel. Because you can't readdress the trim. You just trim. What? If he's going to do what he said, trim every second, trim. When am I bringing the trim back? When am I bringing it back? I can't. I'm trimming. Oh, I'm still accumulating height. I'll trim a bit more. Yeah? What he's describing is not how an aeroplane works. Do you understand?
Yep.
His mitigation denies the principles of flight.
Yeah, within his fantasy flight, the trimming that he's talking about would be below horizontal, so lift effect wouldn't exist. And it would have to be a second by second change, because the trim you go for now, that angle you're at now, that's not going to be enough, because you're not going over a curve, you're going around a circle, around, if you know what I mean. It's a circle path, so you're going around it because you're going around a sphere. So that trim you make now, that's going to have to be changed in a very short time, because your orientation is going to have to change in relation to, like, he thinks, you're just going to carry on like this, and a very, very, very slight pitch down that they don't even do. So like 0.4 degrees below horizontal, something they don't do. And that's enough. It's like, no, Danny, that 0.4 degrees has to change within 4 minutes. Do you know what I mean? To some other, you know what I mean? He's just fantasy. He's a fantasist.
Yep. I'll go back 5.
Would not be able to make that climb. It's actually trying to, when you trim it properly, it's producing enough lift to maintain a constant elevation no matter what the Earth's shape is.
You're a glue sniffer. Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny. I don't think that dumbass dog's gonna hunt, son. You just contradicted yourself. I don't think he knows what elevation means.
They get this idea that a plane can take off and just, if the Earth was spherical, just keep flying in a straight line, would go into orbit.
Yeah, it would. If it kept.
That's exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
And again, you see, that's not our straw man. Oh, do you know what? It's been a while. Is Flatsy there?
Where's Flatsy?
Oh, no. Is she there?
Did you hear him?
No.
He said super chat.
Super chat, Super Mario,
There you go.
Superstar, Super Glue.
All right, we got it from.
That mic. Sorry.
Yeah, every time he gets close, he says it low instead of loud. Sometimes he likes to be loud, and sometimes he doesn't. I don't know.
Flatsy, tell him we don't mind if he ever talks you. Just keep him going.
I opened my mic for him to go ahead and start.
Yeah, you're right.
Roger Ledwell said, "Don't touch the trim." Oh my gosh! Is that from? Oh my gosh, that's from Squidbillies, right?
Thanks, Roger.
Right.
The problem is planes have a ceiling. They can only fly so high, and if they try to go any higher,
They're not trying to go any higher, Danny. They have to negotiate the curve that's beneath them. They're not trying to go higher. They're flying level. You idiot.
Hold on. Here's a consequence of flying in straight and level flight on a ball. Thing is, planes can't go that high. Yes, Danny, carry on. Is this my problem that he's describing it? It sounds like he's struggling.
Problem.
Yeah. So far, he's trying to pass it on to. We claim no. That is a consequence. Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have to. All you have to do is go straight, and you'll go up in altitude. That's the reality of traversing a ball.
What he's trying to do here, very quickly, I'll be very quick. What he's trying to do here is say, no, that doesn't happen. So they're just flying around the globe. It's like, no, Danny, it doesn't happen because it's not a globe.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it would be happening.
Yeah, I know. Identified when he snatched his own wig off before. Yep.
they just can't. There's just not enough air there to
Engines
provide
won't
lift anymore. So if they understood a little bit about the physics of flight, they would know that.
If we understood the physics of flight, you glue sniffing fungus muncher. If you understood second grade maths, we wouldn't be in this predicament right now. My God, sir.
That this is a silly objection.
Silly? Your answer was one of the silliest I ever heard. And we just destroyed it.
The physics of life.
Yeah, but that's the point. And it's the point of the question that he's still not addressed. The physics of flight would be, if you're traversing a ball, when do you nose down?
Yep.
He's still not answered this question. He's given all sorts of false straw mans of a paradigm that we claim he lives in for him to just poo-poo it. It's very weak, but he's not just simply explained why, with principles of aerodynamics, when you're flying across a spherical surface, you have to nose down all the time to reorientate yourself and deal with the increase in altitude you will naturally accrue by traversing in a straight line path.
These ball-tards don't understand that their sphere tard actually curves. I don't think they get that.
Yeah. Okay.
What they don't really
yeah.
grasp in this case is that down isn't down. It's pointing to the center of mass in their claim. And that changes.
Yeah.
Like they would know that this is a silly objection.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I
You're
agree
retarded.
with you, Kiwi.
Say again?
I agree with what you said. They don't seem to understand what a sphere is, all of these people.
Yep.
Because our curve is always not where it's supposed to be. And they're okay with that. It's like you're missing the point here, lad.
Okay. That's what Justin. That's it. That's his. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's.
What it is that they're mixing up their flat Earth experience with a globe, because they're only experiencing flat Earth life, but they're mixing it with a globe. That's the problem.
Yep.
Yes.
Continue with questions, but change a little bit.
By the way, Nathan, that answer was for you.
What? Nathan? Nathan Thomas or whatever, or our Nathan? What's he talking about?
We can find out.
Anyone?
Yeah, it's probably your Nathan. Maybe he should come on the show and give it to him personally.
What the hell? Look at him. He's all proud over here. You squinting glue sniffer.
What answer?
Yeah, he didn't have one.
I'm assuming that's a Nathan.
Yeah.
You're assuming that's Nathan? Why? Because he said Nathan? My, are you a dumbass?
He'll get
Inside thing, huh?
No, I was just trying to work it out, right? We know it's a ball because if we lived on a ball and we went with straight line flight, we'd fly off into space. But we don't fly off into space with straight line flight, so it has to be a ball.
Yeah, he's a dumbass.
That's what he's just given us, mate. Yeah, with a little bit of fluff, pointing out that the consequence of our straight line flight on a ball would mean the air would get thinner and the plane wouldn't work. Another point that rebuts him with his straight line flight, because that's how planes work, dude. This is the point he's missing significantly: how aeroplanes work. And we're not rebutting that. He's having to mitigate how aeroplanes work against all the manuals, flight instruction, or every pilot knows. Yeah, he's having to mitigate that, make sure it's reasonable that the Earth can curve away, gain altitude, and reorientate, and that doesn't need mitigating for at all. Blue sniffer is the right phrase sometimes, QE.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, next question. How high?
I already had the answer.
You already got the answer.
Yeah, really, really high.
Super duper duper super high?
I answered this at
Yeah,
Amsterdam
and I'm not
high.
even talking about altitude.
That's what I said, Amsterdam high.
Shout out to Betty. Is she here yet?
No, it's a big pizza. Must be, QE. Must be massive.
Yeah.
So, flat earthers say that
Stereotype fallacy.
science
does what?
has admitted that
Science doesn't admit to things. You reify idiot. This is just a textbook reification fallacy. And this is not a scientific topic, for God's sake.
in order to see the curvature of the Earth, they
This is the curvature, or this is geometry, not natural science, glue sniffer.
say even science
Over
says
there.
mathematics.
Did we cover this? We skipped that one for Brian, didn't we? But did we?
Did we?
I don't know. It's late on Saturday.
In order to see the curvature of the Earth, they say even science says mathematically you
No,
have
science doesn't say even mathematically. You just contradicted yourself within with your own statement. Science says within mathematics. Those are two different things. They neither shall twain together. Glue sniffer. My God.
to be at least 50 miles above the surface of the Earth.
50 miles above the surface of the earth. Who said that? I'm a flat earther. I never made that claim.
In order to see curvature. So when people say like in the U-2 spy plane, which can go up to, I think, about a ceiling of 70,000 feet. You can see the curvature from 70,000 feet, even from 60,000 feet, like in a MiG fighter. I've seen videos of that. And they say, oh, you can see the curvature there, but they say, no, even science admits it to see.
Science not admitting anything. And who's seeing this curvature in MiGs? Knows.
See the curvature with your naked eye.
I saw the videos he's talking
With your
about.
naked eye, huh?
You would have
I
to
saw
be
the
at
videos
least
he's talking about.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Brian.
there's two types, Brian, though, isn't there? There's the ones that aren't staged, where you don't see it, and then there's the ones with the amount of Top Gear, the posh.
Oh, your man from
James May. James May.
And then James May, yeah, James May.
Yeah.
Where
He's
you're
going, I
seeing
can
the
see the
concave
curve.
and convex out. Yeah.
You know, when you both of you talk at one time, we can't hear any of you.
We were fine between us, to be fair. That was like being in the pub.
at least 50 miles above the surface of the earth, and no airplane comes even close to going.
I never made that claim. That's a stereotype fallacy. I don't know where you got that crap from. It's another strong.
Right.
Yeah,
so this is the
yeah.
point I'm making. And this is the point. It was never our claim in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. We never went, oh, look, all we have in media is, like I said, with regards to James May going up in the MiG, puking up on himself, but having the time to disclaim he can see the curvature of the Earth. Right? So it was always their claim. Now, when you can go just up as I, when you don't need anyone, just a camera, and it's not there, suddenly you can't see it. That's the point I'm making. It's their claim that they've changed. We've not strawmanned anything. They've changed their claim. And they'll invoke Neil deGrasse and the likes to change it. And bring in a big priest.
Yep.
50 miles.
Yeah, we're not making any claims about how high you have to be to see aircraft.
I'd like to quote here a little video of clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson
There we go, smoking the grass, Tyson. Yeah, we did go over this, Adam.
talking about the Von Gardner jump and
The Von Gardner, no, Baumgartner jump.
Baumgartner.
Listen to him. He says Von Gardner. Watch his lips.
clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the Von Gardner jump.
Von Gardner. What an idiot. Danny, are you retarded? Don't answer that. My audience already knows it for an absolute fact. You're a pretender clown.
About this really curved surface there, and that's from a fisheye lens, and he was speaking from the cuff. He was actually
he was speaking from the cuff, and what else?
Speaking. He said, it's flat from that altitude. You can't see that. Pounding the table, you can't see
It wasn't pounding the table. It was an inflated sphere tard.
the curve. Well, he's just wrong about that.
Oh, now he's just wrong about that. So now,
Can I say something quickly?
So which one was it? Was it off the cuff, or he's just wrong? He's not. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah.
I heard super chat, supernova, superchargers, super fluids.
Super mustache.
Super mustache.
Tony Whitcomb sent a plane takes off and the reference is 0 from ground. The plane they're in doesn't know where the ground would be on a globe. Boom.
Yeah, it would be boom. Thanks, Tony. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, apologies for over talking you.
Super mustache.
Yeah, super mustache.
Right.
Danny
Brian.
and
Hi.
yeah.
Not my floor, it's Bugger's floor.
The other super chat.
Supercell, superpower, super mullet.
He's all about mustaches lately. Sorry. Not sorry. Roger Ledwell sent, they don't adjust for any curve ever when attitude.
Yes, they don't. Ever. Thanks, Roger.
Don't adjust their attitude with information. Sad that.
Yeah, hey, Brian, third time's the charm.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to get this in is because just before he starts detailing all the curvature that he's after just claiming airplane pilots don't have to account for. He's going to start telling you about all the curvature the planes won't be accounting for.
Yep.
Coordinate.
All right, let me pull a fiver.
Can't see that. Pounding the table, you can't see the curve. Well, he's just wrong about that. He couldn't be more wrong about
You couldn't be more wrong about that. So, nuh-uh.
it. I have here a paper from David Lynch.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Adam, you sent that to me, didn't you?
Oh, I've got it. Do you want me to pull it up?
Oh, crap, I didn't read it.
I had a little snifter. I'll pull it up now. Let him play, and then I'll try and summarize.
Okay, let me go back. Let's get the full thing.
He couldn't be more wrong about it. I have here a paper from David Lynch from Applied Optics from 2003, and he asked the question in here: how far can you see? People, how high do you have to be to see the Earth's curvature? And a lot of people claim at 35,000 feet they can see it, and he analyzes it, goes through the analysis of.
You know, we have some people that they can see it from like a Marriott hotel. We have some people that could see like 20 to 30 feet. They could see the curvature. 20 to 30 feet of elevation there, Danny. Did you know that? You know, Lake Pontchartrain down on I-10 down there. Yeah.
Have you not seen the curvature when you're watching a boat sail away over an horizons 3 miles away?
Yeah. Go ahead. Adam, are you ready?
Yeah. Interesting. I just read the little bit of the paragraph. I remember what I said at the start, so I'll make this point. Because I think it's crucial to the paper. What is the horizon? Okay, it's Earth. Okay, yeah, because that's what that's trying to invoke. We're trying to say how high do we have to see the horizon, the sensible horizon, to look curved, not be a horizon anymore. Yeah, and stop it. Right, in the first line, health of the eye seems to demand a horizon. We are never tired so long as we can see far enough. Quote, which is, like I say, it links it instantly to optics, which is cool. The bit I'd say is, I read just this little bit, which might raise a question with regard to why they scrapped Concorde. Interview with pilots and high elevation travellers reveal that few, if any, could detect curvature below 50,000 feet. High altitude physicist and experienced sky observer David Gutierrez reported that his B-57 ascends. The curvature of the horizon does not become readily sensible until at around about 50,000 feet, and at 60,000 feet the curvature is obvious. Having talked to many other high flyers, Gutierrez confirms that his sense of the curvature is the same as theirs. Passengers on Concorde, 60,000 feet, routinely marvelled at the curvature.
No, they did not.
The author has also
Even Concorde
talked to
themselves
many pilots, and they report that from elevations around 35,000 feet, they cannot see curvature. The purpose, he's cited a paper, and as you can see, what we've got here is just frankly, it's the same as what QE would do, cite other people and try and make a point, but he's not actually making any points. He's saying other people have varied opinions and don't know what it is. But ultimately, as I say, what are they trying to define in all this? I'm just scrolling through it, sorry for pausing, but photographing and measuring the curve. Maybe you can pull it up, Q. It is in Skype. Visually, not point to, visually detecting the Earth's curvature. You see, the horizon, and then we go into models. We've got standard models we see where it's that point of obstruction that is the horizon. So that fundamentally, no matter what they're doing, they're trying to claim the horizon is Earth curve.
That's stupid. And number two, this is an anecdotal fallacy op-ed paper. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, yes, but and all they're doing is dealing with it in left to right. They're not talking about anything other than left to right bend. You know, can I see a curve in the horizon? That's all this paper includes. It doesn't matter that it's not dropping a commensurate rate at those heights with regards to the fall away on the z-axis. It's literally that's irrelevant. It's just left to right. Can I invoke a curve there? You see, in all the thing, there's no demonstration. That the only pictures they're showing is at sea level. The pictures we've got are three different camera lenses at sea level. Picture at sea level, a picture at high altitude where it shows the same thing, the same rate of curve. And we need to have a read of this paper, QE, because it sounds like it's snatching its own wig off, if I'm being honest, as I read bits of it. I won't.
It does. Because even the Concorde thing was pointed out, I think, by them themselves, that, see, I understand it. Their windows, I didn't need it explained to me, their windows had to be very small. Because they were flying at such altitudes, they needed more structure because of the pressure differentials. So they needed a stronger structure. So they couldn't have bigger windows. They had small little curved windows. So no matter what if you look out the window when you're on the tarmac, everything is curved. Do you know what I mean? You go up to whatever amount of miles, everything is curved because of the windows. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, this bozo take into account the curving windows in the airplanes. Did they mention anything about, did you run into anything like that, Adam?
No, there's nothing. I need to read it. My point with regard to Concorde is it was scrapped, but it was flying at 60,000 feet. And whether you could see the curve or not, that ability has been removed. It would be my point of interest to the layman for you to go up to 60,000, yeah, and see it. Whether you can adjust for the windows or not, you would actually, as a layman, be able to go up to that doesn't exist anymore.
That would be actual refraction, by the way.
Yeah, through the what? Was it medium change?
Yeah, it's looking through the window. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job, Danny. You numpty dipshit. We'll move on.
Math of the curved Earth, and his conclusion is that close to 35, maybe a little less than 35,000 feet, the Earth's curvature should begin to show up. It's going to be extreme.
That's not what Adam read.
I've read that verbatim. Yeah,
he read that verbatim, Danny, you liar. Jeez.
Extremely subtle. You're going to need at least 60 degrees angle field of view to do that, to see.
Really? Why?
It. The problem is if you're in the cabin of the plane.
Yeah, there you go. You just defeated your point. You clown.
Those windows don't allow you much vista at all.
Right.
Maybe from the cockpit you can do it, but not from back there. So when people say they've seen the Earth's curvature from a commercial flight, they're mistaken. They have not. I've tried looking for it. By the way, to see it at 35,000 feet would require also superbly clear conditions for hundreds of miles, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Now, he goes on to point out by the time you get
at what height can you see unicorns?
Good question.
50,000 feet, it's much more obvious. And by the time you get to 60,000 feet, it's downright unavoidable.
It's downright unavoidable. That's it. Don't you have any pictures for him, Danny? Clown.
Oh, what a shitbagging shame.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yep.
What height did I read verbatim that Concorde flew at? Well, you could have been able to see it, but you can't now.
Yep.
Concorde, it would fly almost 60.
Oh, he's talking about Concorde. Let me pull 2 fibers.
I want to point out, by the time you get to 50,000 feet, it's much more obvious. And by the time you get to 60,000 feet, it's downright unavoidable. And people who flew the Concorde, it would fly almost 60,000 feet. They regularly recorded the dark sky and the curvature of the Earth.
Really? I've never seen that. Let's see it.
They saw. And I've talked to a B-52 navigator.
Oh, we don't. No, this is an anecdotal fallacy, and you're lying. I already know you're lying because you do this shit all the time. You and your Hebraeus We're going to get to that this week. Don't let me just bring it up right now. There is going to be a treatment of this glue-sniffing, fungus-munching, lying piece of shit this week. I don't know what day, but keep your ear out. Keep a weathered eye out. It's coming.
Flew the thing many times, and it went to
just many times. How many times, Danny? Just many? Clown.
55,000 feet or more.
Really?
And she
Can you confirm that?
said she frequently saw the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. Through what? Through that curved window. What about refraction, Danny? He doesn't know what refraction
is. Is that the window that you wouldn't have the sufficient field of view to see it?
Yes.
Unless you're in the cockpit, that window.
Yes. Even then.
And now because you're at 60,000 feet, you've got a sufficient field of view. Okay. Not sure your field of view really changes that much. If that was your mitigation earlier for why you couldn't see. I mean, stick your head up against the window. You got a full field of view. What's he on about?
Stick your face right up against it. He's just making shit up. He's just pulling shit out of his ass. Anecdotal fallacies. Show! Yeah, that's going to be a bit hard. That's a bridge too far.
Earth, and she wasn't just seeing things here. So
yeah, she was, because her windows were curved. Then now you're going to have to take into account refraction because of the windows. You follow that, Dan? No, you don't, because you don't know what refraction is, Mr. Temperature Inversion Reverse Stuff moron.
You don't have to go up 50 miles. You can.
Sorry. I just want to point out that the reason the Concorde had to have small round windows, as I said earlier, was because of the pressure differential. Because the outside pressure was so low in comparison to the inside pressure, they needed a way to keep the inside pressure high enough for people to stay conscious, right? And also be able to fly at that altitude. Do you know what I mean? So Danny's bringing up like a pressure differential. Like, how did they do that, Danny? How did they deal with these pressures, these outside and internal pressures? How did they do that?
Without a container.
You know, gas pressure doesn't require containers.
Yeah, well, he already admitted it did. Remember before when we went over in BALLBUSTERS where he admitted that there had to be a thin shell of aluminum to keep the get pressure, to keep the get pressure, or else they'd die. Clown.
Can I make a point? Can I make a point on the windows, guys? The fuselage window versus a motorcycle helmet. I'm a motorcyclist. Now the curvature on that visor it's much more sharper on a motorcycle helmet, and yet I can read the street names, number plate numbers, and everything perfectly. But if you could not do that, that would be a health and safety issue. Now on the aeroplane fuselage, those windows are designed so that you can actually enjoy the view of the Earth and take your pictures. So any idea of seeing curvature, that's not true. Versus the motorcycle helmet with a steeper curved fiberglass. There you go.
And you can definitely see it at 50 miles, but 50,000 feet you can see it as well.
Sure you can. Okay. So isn't the International Space Station too small to see if it is really that? We did this too, didn't we?
Before we get to that question, he ended it on a positive plane. If I show him balloon footage from 100,000 feet, should see Earth curve then, yeah?
Yes.
Have we got footage with a flat plane being demonstrated and a level horizon?
Well, 100,000 feet, you're only getting around, you're in the low 20 miles, right? Where are you at 100,000?
They said 60,000. They said at Concorde you could see it. No, it's undeniable at 60. 35 you might struggle, 60 definitely there. Everybody on Concorde used to see it all the time. Right, so that's lovely. Now got a balloon at 110. 110, that's where they're at, isn't it? Most of them.
Oh, no, they go up higher actually.
Oh, 110 will do me.
120,000 feet is 22.72 miles.
Say that again, Brian.
120,000 feet is 22.72 miles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
So,
yep.
High altitude balloons will go up to that and maybe 2 or 3 miles above it, the average one.
Did we do this one? I can't remember. All right, we'll go for it.
So let's talk about the International Space Station.
The International Swimming Station. It's in the second law of thermodynamics violation as reported by NASA. Because it's at 10 to the negative 6 to 10 to the negative 8 torr. That's impossible. That's the second law of thermodynamics violation. Therefore, it's not there. Easy, simple.
They say
this is a trap, isn't it? Because the answer is, well, whatever there is a light up there that we see, is the simple answer that you say, and it's not a part of the celestial movement. Every so often we get to see it, and you say it's the ISS. Your claim, you tell me. You prove to me that that light that big should be that big, all these things. I don't need to attack it. I just think it's nonsense because the medium in which you purport it to be happening is the second law of thermodynamics violation. As for the rest, I'm not interested, mate, unless you can deal with that point. No? Big light, little light. It's too big, that light. It's too small, that light, to be that. You couldn't fit that many people in a tin can in the second law of thermodynamics violation. It'd have to be bigger. Let's argue about the size of the tin can in the violation rather than the violation. And you ran over.
All right, we ready?
and I've done this. I know you have. I'm sure you have. When we were living in northern Idaho, we lived kind of up in the mountains, and I've got one of those apps that you can get on your phone. It shows you where the ISS is and its flight path and all. And I checked it, and sure enough, on this particular night, it was scheduled to go right over our house. And so we had providentially, it was a clear night. And so I went out there on my little electric scooter at just the right time, and I'm looking up, and sure enough, Danny, this little dot of light right at the exact time goes right over my head at a high rate of speed.
Really?
That's a lot of rubbish.
Superpower, super mode, super mustache.
Roger Ledwell sent Maravik Tom Cruise. All I need. A Maverick or
Maverick?
Maravik?
It has to be Maverick.
Yeah, it's got to be Maverick. Yeah.
Thanks, Roger. All right. Sorry, here we go.
Pretty bright too.
Oh my God.
I was just about to say it before Booker came in with the super chat. What your man Justin Peterson just said is not correct, because people actually see, and I know this because my friend saw what he claimed to be the ISS, and he could see definition, like not just the light, he could see it, the shape, everything. He saw it with his naked, with just his eyes, no phone extra, no camera, no anything, just his eyes. He saw it. He's not a liar. He's not someone who tells lies. He wouldn't be telling me heap of rubbish. He's my best friend. He saw it. And he was like, how can I see that? If that's supposed to be thousands of miles away. He actually thought that himself. He's not a flat earther, man. He thought that. How can I see this? This is supposed to be thousands of miles. So.
Wait, thousands of miles. ISS isn't thousands of miles away.
It's supposed to be 10,000 miles or something like that.
150.
Very far.
No, 250. Supposed to be 250.
Yeah. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. The point is that he's not supposed to be able to see something the size of a jumbo jet, a 747, Boeing 747, basically something just slightly bigger than that. He's not supposed to be able to see that with his naked eyes.
Yeah,
at 100 or 250 miles.
Yeah, but there's some conditions here. Was it during the day or at night?
Nighttime. He went out and saw it specifically. He saw that it was passing over this area supposedly, and he saw whatever it was specifically.
Well, it's a little different game at night. Seeing a light. That's a different.
But
game.
It was passing in front of the moon. He said.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. It's still second law of thermodynamics violation. They have to validate the height.
That's going to hurt. That hurts because then you've got a shadow, like you get aeroplane shadows. Yeah. Now you can, and this is the point. You can pass a light off, but it has that. You can't define a light source as a size, which is all that people. If you look at Red's rhetoric, that's all they ever track. It might zoom in and give you that thing as well, but I don't think I've ever seen a visual silhouette of it. It'd be interesting as to how that.
But let's get back to what this guy. Let's get back to what this guy said. He said he saw it at night, like a light or something, right? Is that? Let me go back.
It could have been an angel.
Danny, sure enough, this little dot of light.
There you go. I figured he said that. Little dot of light.
Right at the exact time, goes right over my head at a high rate of speed.
Pretty bright too, wasn't it?
It was very bright, and that's one of their arguments.
That's one of their arguments. What? What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, they might have a point there.
Say again?
So, if we're on at night time, why is it, and it's only 250 miles above the surface, why is it getting any light to illuminate it back down in terms like moonshine equivalent? Yeah, that's why they claim the moon's illuminated. It's not its own light.
We're going off on incoherent tangents.
No, but I think that's the point he's making there, that a flat Earth would make. That seems to be his point.
Well, I would probably have to make that point, or a flat earther. It's just a stupid stereotype straw man. I'd never even heard a point like that before.
I've got to permit that he can go into a thermodynamics violation first. To have to then argue whether or not it's high enough to reflect sunlight from
Correct.
an obstruction of Earth curve.
Correct.
Oh, a 747 jumbo jet is almost as big as the International Space Station, and when we look up, we can barely see a 747 at all with the naked eye, and it's only about 6 miles or so above our heads. So if you can't see a jumbo jet at 6 miles, how can we possibly see the International Space Station, which is only a little bit bigger, at 240 miles above our heads?
Well, flat earthers confuse
Stereotype fallacy.
two different issues here.
No, we're not confusing any issues because I never made any claims for it or against, except second law.
This and they in other areas they do the same thing.
No, in other areas they don't do the same thing. That's another stereotype fallacy. You know, Danny, you're like you'd like to celebrate a healthy chunk of the logical fallacy catalog. I've noticed. You know, on our next treatment, I'm going to mark every single one of those down and explain what they are in context. Okay, clown.
Thing. They're confusing angular resolution with seeing light.
No, I never did that. In fact, I just brought it up.
And they point out many other contexts that.
Kiwi.
Say again?
I just said sorry I'm late. It's my first attendance. So.
It's your first attendance, so you just want to interrupt the show by saying sorry you're late?
I guess.
She hesitated, right? She goes, oh, shit, what's he going to do? Well, okay. Apology accepted. Thank you. Can we continue?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
I think the hint is coming in here that the naked eye can see at best maybe an arc minute. That's 1/60th of a degree. That'd be the resolution limit of the human eye.
No, he got something right. Yeah.
Without optical aid. So they're saying basically if this thing, the ISS is up a few hundred miles, its angular resolution would be, its angular.
Yeah.
Has he just admitted that perspective exists?
Yes.
Okay.
We got problems with that, don't we, Brian?
Well, perspective and Earth curve can't coexist together.
That's
It's
the
not
problem.
possible.
Yeah.
So we don't have problems, do we?
No, Danny does, because he just admitted concerning perspective. Go ahead, Brian. I'm all for this one.
Well, if somebody has their eyes at the waterline on a globe and a 6-foot high boat sails away from them 3 miles, then that 6-foot high boat will disappear from view because it will be gone over the Earth curve. If someone has their eye line on at the waterline over a horizontal plane, then a 6-foot high boat at 3 miles away will have reached the angular size of 0.02 degrees, which means that the person, the average human eye, won't be able to see that 6-foot high boat at 3 miles away. So that means both Earth curve and perspective will cause a boat to appear to disappear at 3 miles away for someone with their eye line at the waterline, right? So if we amalgamate both of them and say, what about if perspective and Earth curve coexist together, then that means that the 6-foot high boat will disappear for the person on a globe with their eyes at the waterline at 1.8 miles away. But we know that doesn't happen. We know that in reality, that boat, that 6-foot high boat, won't disappear for 3 miles. That means it's not Earth curve and perspective. That's that ruled out. That means we only have 2 options. It's either Earth curve then or perspective. Because you can't have Earth curve and perspective, which means you can't invoke Earth curve and angular size change, because that doesn't fit reality. You can only invoke either Earth curve or angular size change. Now, we know for a fact that angular size change exists. Angular size change with distance exists. That means there is no Earth curve.
Turn out the lights. Party's over. I love that proof. It just turns me on.
It's so simple, but just so true.
Don't keep getting him lubed up. Press play, somebody.
That's my love language right there. God, I love that. Betty, are you back? Baby, come back.
It's a giant pizza.
Jeez, oh man. She left us. Thank you, Brian. Hopefully everyone got... Danny, you're in big trouble with your appeal to angular size change. But we'll stick on to the topic. I know that was a little bit... It wasn't a red herring fallacy, but it was on point because you did appeal to angular size change. So it was warranted. But now we'll get back to your point.
Extent would be below the limit what the eye can resolve. So how can you see that? And indeed, when you see it, you said it looked like a tiny dot. It didn't look like this. If you see pictures of it, you know what it looks like. It's this big thing with different connections and solar panels and so forth. And people have actually videoed and photographed as it passed in front of the sun, in front of the moon, showing that structure to it.
Yeah.
Now, that just because something is below the angular resolution doesn't mean it can't be visible, particularly if it's a lit object going along in a dark sky.
I don't have a problem with that. I would have to do the maths on that, but I don't conceptually, I don't have a problem with that, Danny. But we're begging the question fallacy because this monkey is in a second law of thermodynamics violation. See, we're just entertaining you.
No.
It's not. No.
It is.
No, it's not.
I've got a problem with that.
Well, no, you got a problem with the second law of thermodynamics.
No.
Then it's not. No.
No, just the definition of what's being seen is what I've got an issue with.
Then make sure you separate that out and not say no to the whole thing.
The no was to get the ability to make the separation. And stop it, you put me off. As we said, reflected light is something very different. You might be able to see that. But that's important as to what light is being reflected. If you're going to make that claim that we're no longer now, we recognize it's two small to see because of angular size reduction. Yeah. But the reason we can see it is because of reflected light. Right. Well, and then we need to be able to have that as a source and it be able to have light reach it to reflect. Yeah. That probably won't be dealt with, but that would be the point of nuance. I would no for.
We see our satellites, including the ISS.
There are no satellites. And unless if you're talking about your fairy tale paradigm satellites that are all in a second law of thermodynamics violation, you have none. Unless you're going to stand there and violate the second law of thermodynamics, Danny. You don't even know what the second law is. I know that. So, no, you don't have any satellites either. Now, if they're on balloon, that's a different game. You know, like a couple years ago when they shot that Chinese one down, that satellite on a balloon, Danny, that we've been telling you for the past, 8 or 9 years, when Robert Bassano blew that ship, just blew a hole in that ship. Yeah, clown.
By the sunlight they reflect, and if you've watched the ISS, sometimes you'll see it disappear into the Earth's shadow. I've seen other shadows.
Oh God, it's disappearing into the Earth's shadow.
It's just the shadow that we don't see. The shadow of the massive amount of curvature that we don't see.
Could be.
When the sun is supposedly gone down behind it.
Yep.
Do the same thing. Once they pass into Earth's shadow, you can't see it anymore. And that's the reason why you don't see them much in the winter. You see them generally in the summer, and you see them in the early evening and early morning. You don't see them much. You don't see them at all around midnight. Now, so the angular.
Sure, and Liberace's sister was a Saudi prince, a Maumai fighter pilot, and Sasquatch.
Size may be far less than 1 arc minute, but the light is still there. It just doesn't disappear. And if you take a little flashlight, a little LED flashlight with a 1-inch diameter light on it, if you get about 200 and 250 feet, as I recall, the angular resolution of that bulb is too small for your eye to see. But yet, that doesn't mean the light suddenly disappears.
That's true. You're still screwed, though.
Far out. If you take a
what light? Go ahead, Adam.
I'm just making the point. It's really he is actually mitigating for it, from what I've heard. Yeah, he's making the claim that the reason you can see it is there's a line of sight that isn't obscured by Earth curve to give people on Earth a reflected image of the ISS that's 250 miles above the surface. That's what he's fundamentally laying out. I'm happy with that. It's worthy of investigation.
It is.
But he's laid his claim out clear. That's worked for Brian, I think.
Yeah, that is a good one. It did listen to you. You're like, I don't want to do it, man. It'd take too much time. But Brian will chase that red herring down.
Soon as his computer's fixed.
Yeah, as soon as his computer. Brian, we want to know the limit that we can see a point light source against a dark background. What is the human eye's capacity to do that? No magnification or anything, just human eye. Brian, Brian, are you there?
Yeah, you'd be talking about the what you call it, inverse square law of light.
You could. That would have something to do with that. Yes.
Yeah, and then the human eye's ability to take in light at a distance.
Yes.
See, it's the funny one. Like, yeah, if I say mathematically it works, I would say, because I would say they wouldn't be putting out a claim that they have a thing up there 250 miles away if they didn't. Like NASA would have already done that, I'd say.
No, you can't. No. We want to know the limit.
Okay, I'll find out.
He's trying to blow us off, man. Adam.
I'll have to do the work.
Right. That's not my question specifically. I'm saying only 250 miles. Compare that to R, okay? A very small amount above the surface, which means there's a hell of a lot of obstruction. I'm saying that means there's a lot of obstruction. If you're going to claim the only reason you can see it is because of reflected sunlight, that limits it very much. You certainly can't see it in the day, because you don't see the stars, never mind, or any of the other satellites. So why would so it's very limited when you should be able to see it and can see it. Now, the second point of that is, if that is the case, then it should, I think, be viewable from more geo positions than they claim. They only say it's viewable from here, 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 and here. They're very specific on that. It should actually be a bit like today, where there's a path, and you'll be able to see it in massive variance either side, if it's reflected sunlight.
Yeah, but if it has if the ISS has light on it, if it's emitting light itself, whether it has or not, but if it's emitting light itself, whether it be reflected or anything else, if you could see it because light is being reflected off it,
no, it's not.
Then you should be able to see any light on it.
Not nick the old Wembley's floodlights and strap them up there. It's not like there's not pimp the ride, have they? You know what I mean?
No, there's no reason to have lights on.
No, I got fog lights just in case. You know what I mean? What are you on about? It's the only light source that you could, and this is his point. To be fair to him, it's too small to see. He's conceded that. The reason you can see it is it's reflecting light. That can only, don't know, unless it's got its own set of lights that's, separate
it doesn't.
to it.
It's reflecting. Come on, get to the end of this.
Sunlight, then. That's the fundamental of the claim. The only reason you can see is it's reflecting sunlight.
Correct.
The end.
We're gonna need the end. We're gonna need an answer to that, Brian. Get back with us. Can you get it to us by Friday?
No, just Friday, 4 weeks.
Dude, just messing with you, man. It's interesting, but it's besides the point. I mean, we're begging the question fallacy down the drain, but I'd like to know, and I don't want to do it.
I'll look into it.
All right, thank you.
Automobile headlight a mile away, it's too small for your eye to resolve, but you can see headlights for miles.
That's right.
And so just because it's very far away and very small appearing, it doesn't mean the light is invisible at that point. And that's a common mistake they're making here.
It's not a mistake we're making. We didn't make the argument. You've just conjured this argument from a second law of thermodynamics violation that you're seeing. So you're seeing in the Narnia. That's the problem.
Yeah. Great illustration.
Yeah, we already know.
Yep, that's it.
Good demonstrate. He didn't demonstrate shit.
This is important, this bit, because we've conceded the point that we can't see the object. Right?
Correct.
So, right. What we can do is say we've got a light source which we can trace. Now, if all we've got a light source is, then no longer do we have to match anything other than angular elevation angle change, azimuth change. All that's going to be done to track it. If you've got something small, it can get smaller, can't it? The closer it gets, because it's supposed to be big and far away. We can have it small and close. If all we've got is now a point light source that's being tracked, and we can match things. We can scale it however we want, can't we? So I would ask the question: is there a terrestrial scale that could match these things on these limited viewing times? Yeah, this is bullshit mitigation that you can enjoy outside of. Where's all this happening? Oh, a second law of thermodynamics violation called space.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a vacuum with a tin can.
Hey Brian.
No lights.
Hey Brian, just thinking out loud while Adam's rambling. You might want to give a call to like an optometrist, like an actual one, not the text, and ask him that question.
Well, ask D Rose. D Rose works with opticians.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yep. That's a good idea. I mean, so it'll probably keep you from fumbling and bumbling around for a while. They could probably direct you, straight to how you could figure it out. Follow?
Yeah, D Rose would know.
Okay.
Just on a sidebar, if I was going to debunk the existence of the ISS outside of the second law of thermodynamics, I would still use the pressure. I would still point out that the internal pressure of a jet fighter that would be flying about 8 miles up will be about 7 psi, while the external is about 2 psi. So where the ISS would be somewhere into the minus Thor values. So how would they handle that kind of pressure differential?
What if you've got a leak, Brian?
Like a stone?
If you got right answer is, well, then you've got a leak.
You could stick your finger in or something of that effect. Remember that?
Yeah,
That's
put
why
your thumb
that
over
point's
it.
so laughable, Brian. That's why I'm making that point. Look, that pressure differential, right, rips just like in the sci-fi movies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does what happens in the sci-fi movies. That pressure differential makes a real big difference. Not, well, you've got a leak. What you need is a bit of tape, some, yeah, and a lot of hope.
I thought you were gonna say a lot of hose.
That's the way to send it out. It's the way to go out, isn't it? Frankly, if that's what's happening.
It's the way to go out.
You better be quick. Is all I'd say.
Absolutely true.
We're getting on to the movie.
Well, just so people know that you die, not some body, everybody will die at 46.35 Torr. Dead. Your blood will be boiling at 57 Torr, and you'll be unconscious at 90 Torr. So, if you can figure out the differentials and you look at how they must deal with differentials in reality, then try and put yourself 250 miles away in a massive violation of entropy.
Yep.
And the internals of the ISS would have to be like probably 10 to the minus 4 Torr or something like that.
So this is where I had a problem with Princess Leia. You know, in the bullshit movies that aren't really Star Wars movies, and she ends up in space and she freezes. So I was looking at this is another miraculous thing of water. It doesn't want to boil the shit away and disappear. It'll freeze, which is why Leia freezes. It's called vacuum freezing. So you lose a certain amount of volume, but the way water behaves, it dumps so much energy,
right,
from
the evaporation, right?
Yeah, that the other molecules lose all their energy and become solid.
Yep.
It's quite an interesting concept. That again, water is life. That's the funky
Water is light. Water's everything. Water's light.
I can't believe he just referenced that movie.
I know it's not. Neil, I know and you know it's not canon. It's out there. It's annoying. It's like the Gospel of Thomas. It's not canon, but it's out there, isn't it? So you've got to deal with it.
He just referenced. He referenced Boy Zero, the Sky Grifter. Also, that's why I thought Neil was objecting.
No way! I missed that.
Yeah.
The Sky Grifter.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Okay. Oh God. Does NASA in Hebrew mean to deceive? Can we skip this one?
Bit pointless.
Can I get a vote?
Where's Paula? Where's Paula when you need her?
Is Paula out there? Let's see.
You're in chat, Paula. You just answer that quick. I don't doubt that you can some way phonetically make it NASA sound like Nassar or whatever it was in the Hebrew. The thing is, like, there are so many people that are so messed up in the world that they might, try and do that nonsense. But
Wait a second, halt! Superfluid, Superintendent, Superfly.
Roger Ledwell. I'm renaming Roger Ledwell Roger Misspell. Yeah, another super chat. Okay, so Roger Ledwell sent ham radio and rabbit ears. Ask Bob. And then Sasha sent.
Sasha puts it.
Stabre Super Nesta or Nesto Super Svashta Super Mashta.
Have Booger say that.
he's gonna be confused.
Yeah. All right, Bible U still out there. Bible said it's you said, or Paula said it's not the same Hebrew word, right? Yeah.
There you go. I said phonetically, you might be able to link the two in some, yeah, but that's not meaning the same,
right?
Thing.
Exactly. So back to my question: do we want to get rid of this? Do we want to skip it?
I would ask whether he would. The reason I asked Paula, appealed straight away, is well, that's a question of understanding of your Bible, isn't it? Yeah? Whether or not it's interpretable as that. And Paula's instant response is not the same. So no, don't. I'd like to. We don't need to interrupt, but let's hear.
You want to
what
hear
he
it?
says?
Okay.
Yeah. Has he got the Bible knowledge? He just says no. It's not the same word.
Okay. Okay.
It's like
fair
a
enough.
clinical response from Paula.
Fair enough. Thanks, Adam. We'll go through it. Here we go. As painful as it's gonna be.
All right. Oh, I wish I had a nickel for every time I've heard this one.
You didn't hear from any of us. I mean, we don't play around this neighborhood. This is just. I think I heard it when I first came on here. So back to the 2015 arguments.
NASA. NASA means in Hebrew. I'm sorry.
Hi, Danny. Did you contact your Hebraist? You'll know what I mean coming up here this week, folks.
I shouldn't laugh. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive.
Okay, so this is an important point. I said phonetically. Well, we don't know what Hebrew sounded like phonetically ever. We do have
stop
it.
mumbling. Stop mumbling. Get up to that mic and start over.
Let me put it up. Okay, so an important point.
Is
So
that
in
a super,
terms of
another super chat so we can interrupt him again? Supernatural, supersonic, Super Mario.
Stephen Cook said, "Just pop your chewing gum out and plug the hole." Well, yeah, that's what they do.
That's exactly. Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it? I can't. It was so long ago. There was some derogatory claims I think made by Anthony. They were pretty funny back in the day, but it's been too long. Thanks, man. Go ahead, Adam.
Miss Superbug talking there. Damn. Yeah, so the point I made earlier was that this is a phonetic link. Okay, there's certainly no like underlying root word meaning because it's an acronym, NASA. The best you could do is a phonetic link. But there is no phonetic link, is my point. Hebrew survives as a written language, but it died 1700 years ago as a phonetic language. The only equivalence is the thing that was made up in the late 1800s, which is as admitted an amalgamation of Arabic and Aramaic and other bits and bobs. So there is no justification to make that from a intellectual point of view. I know it's probably way above Danny's thing. He's just seen a couple of Americans with NASA Lies t-shirts and he's happy to jump on that bandwagon as if it means out. NASA Lies means one thing. It doesn't mean that we all jump into... What he's trying to do is paint some conspiratard attack against flat earthers once again.
Well, wasn't this a Globe Dumpsters point back in 2015, 2016? They brought it up. I remember seeing it.
I think it was something that, again, 2015, it's out there, isn't it? Somebody puts it out there. Well, what do? You look into it and research what that does. It has it. How can it? Because nobody, when they said it, bothered to explain it to me. But you bother to look at it, don't you? And figure out, well, if that's the case, well, why is that the case? Or do you just go, I'll just take that as read? You know?
I just blew it off. Like I
well,
would.
that's the other way, because it's an unsubstantiated claim, and that's the simplest way to deal with it. It's not worth dealing with.
Right.
But there's more important things here, and that is that NASA does, and we can prove, lie. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Whether the name means to deceive, who cares? They do deceive.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see where they go with this. I know it's boring. Just hang in there with us. We'll get to the next section, which I don't know what it is, but hopefully it has more cowbell than this one.
Does NASA in Hebrew mean to deceive? And if it does, would NASA be so foolish as to telegraph their deception in such an obvious way?
Well, if the Joker or the Riddler were in charge of NASA, of course they would, But real conspiracy people don't.
The conspiracy is the actual heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. That's the actual conspiracy. You fruitcakes, you surface puke regurgitators.
Leave all such quote unquote obvious clues lying around, and in a very, very quick.
We don't need no obvious clues. Go ahead, Adam. Concisely.
We're both getting outraged.
Yeah.
It's buggered, Jew. We missed one.
No, we didn't miss any.
No, sorry.
You had me going.
Well, I did. Highlight of the show.
All right,
He's the highlight of the show for me. These Muppets. I forgot my point. So press play and it'll come back to me. I'll interrupt.
All right.
Quickly, one word. No, the word NASA does not mean deceive in Hebrew. The word they're looking at there, and this is where amateur Hebraists can get into trouble.
Amateur Hebraist, such as Danny.
Fast.
Yeah.
The word they're looking for here is nasha.
Nasha.
It's a sh sound. It's not an s sound. Nasha.
That's right.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Amateur my arse. I just told you. It died as a spoken language 1,500 plus years ago. The phonetics were invented in the 1800s, Danny, as a combination strap-on from Arabic and Aramaic.
He's a clown.
That's right.
There is a word that actually is pronounced nasa, which is far, far closer than nasha is to the pronunciation of NASA. And it means to lift up.
Yes.
Which is interesting. It's almost like a...
To lift up into a second law of thermodynamics violation, Danny.
Hold on a second. They don't get no up in their paradigm. It's either in or out.
True.
Right, so we've now gone, haven't we, from him making a straw man that flat earthers trying to make out that this is such a grand conspiracy that the term NASA actually is the Hebrew word to deceive, which is fundamentally in of itself highly anti-Semitic. Yeah, to claim that these are the people that are doing it. Unless it's like some infertile group of Islamists that are using the Jewish as a screen. I don't know what he's invoking here. But now he's then gone to him saying, well, actually, it could mean to uplift. NASA could mean it could be a hidden... It doesn't mean anything, mate. So as I said at the beginning, it's an acronym, isn't it? National Aeronautical Space Administration.
Yes.
That's all it is. Piss off, you conspirators. And stop trying to straw man me with it.
They're trying to make an acronym into a word. Yeah. And any of you flat earthers did it back in the day. Yeah, we're talking to you too. Idiots.
If you're going to admit something, that's kind of a cool thing. So that's just...
And if somebody just spoke up, they were probably one of the ones that did it.
We all looked at it, like I said, and we investigated it. And
I didn't.
You can put... I know you... Or as I said, you can just... Without support, you can just ignore. Brian made the best point. As fundamentally nonsensical as it is, Is there anyone out there who disagree with just the statement that NASA lies?
No.
So, let's argue about what it means or whether they lie or not.
Yeah.
Or whether the acronym could, Are they liars? Yes. Okay, moving on.
Patently false. One person got this notion, went through the lexicon and found a word that resembled, they thought, the word NASA in Hebrew and ran with it. And this is a common problem with flat earthers. One flat earther's
Stereotype fallacy. I never paid any attention to this. That's why it's a fallacy, Danny. You just carpet bomb barrage logical fallacies left and right. You're a real dumbass.
will make a claim, and other flat earthers will uncritically repeat it without.
No, that's projection. That's exactly what the idiot baltards do. Yeah, we've been catching them for the past 8-9 years doing that exact thing. Project much, baltard.
Checking out the claim first.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no kind of quality control in these things. So this
you think, baltard?
This thing's been repeated endlessly.
This thing's been repeated endlessly. Like I said, I never even paid any attention to it. Just moved past it.
Similar one made about Tesla, Nikola Tesla, a few years ago. They said he was a flat earther. As it turns out,
I never said that. Anyone on the panel ever say that Tesla was a flat earther?
I think he was a baller.
I did one time to my friend.
Yeah, I did one time to my friends.
And he called me out on it, and I failed to produce any evidence, and I shut up then.
Brian, I'd say the opposite. He talks in heliocentric terms when he describes the universe. Yeah, it's very spiritual. Yeah, in terms of it, but he doesn't. There's nothing flat Earth about Tesla.
Exactly. Another straw man fallacy by Danny. His ultimate favorite one.
One flat earther put out a post where on social media where he quoted Tesla, and then he said something about the Earth being flat, and he was saying that himself, and people saw that and thought it was a quote attributed to Tesla. So back about 7-8 years ago, flat earthers were repeating this claim about.
Pause. So 7 or 8 years ago, one bloke said this, and this is how I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to tell him this, but Tesla was a flat earther.
He was.
We all are.
Gotcha. Thanks, Brian. But Adam had a good point because Danny's a Nancy. His arguments are worse than a clumsy child. But let's let him finish.
Tesla being a flat earther, it's since disappeared because I think people have pointed out to them their error, and they did clean that one up, but it took.
They did, or he did, not they. He. One. Clown.
Flat Earth critics in order to get that straightened out. Hopefully, we can get this NASA
starting to put the pieces together. And he did clear that up, right? Brian admits one drunken night in Dundalk that he said to one of his mates, about Tesla, and then he had to shut up. Are you mates with Dr. Danny Faulkner?
Done away with too. And by the way, if people doubt us, just check it up. Look them up in some lexicon.
Well, no, that's an elephant hurling fallacy. You do it. Idiot.
And you'll find out we're telling you the truth about this.
Well, you do it. Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, we don't really care because it's a straw man you conjured.
That's right. Two different words, and I've had the.
They're different words. It's an acronym, you numpty dipshit.
Biblical languages. I'm admittedly I kept up with my Greek a lot more than I did my Hebrew, but I remember.
Sorry about this. I just need to point out, are they trying to claim that Tesla was going around claiming a globe? Because I haven't seen any evidence of that either. Now, just want to point out.
I don't know.
Maybe Adam has seen.
Don't know what they're talking. I've lost interest in this way before I hit play.
Well, I'm just saying that they're taking it as read that because Tesla, there was no evidence that Tesla was claiming the Earth to be a flat plane. That must mean he was a glober. We don't know what he was. We just guy called Tesla.
Just straw man after straw man.
Yeah.
Like I said, the last time I heard a flat earther talk about NASA and what it's even if we did, what can you do? Give a round of applause to the fact that they cunningly created the acronym to sound like the newly generated phonetic symbol for "we deceive," which we all admit they do. Okay, what does that prove anything to do with the nature of Earth? No, you just go, wow, round of applause for that. What a good bit of deceiving and acronym building to have all that synergy together at the lodge. That must really give you all a pat on the back. Well
At the
done.
lodge, at the brain dead moron lodge.
Remember when I had Hebrew in seminary, that's how I remembered that word, NASA. I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like NASA to rise up. NASA sends up rockets to the, and that's how.
Right, sends up rockets into the second law of thermodynamics violation. Yep, good job.
Actually, it doesn't send rockets
Hebrew
up,
word.
it sends them over there.
Yeah, can't send them up. Yeah, it sends them over there.
They go up at the beginning, but they end up going over there, and you watch them go all the way over there and disappear downwards into the horizon. What rockets?
So technically, it does mean Dave, if they say they're sending rockets up.
According to
4th of July, Neil, right? You set that rocket off. Do you look to the horizon to watch it, or do you just go look up?
Within his paradigm, he thinks they're sending them up. So they're sending them up into a second law. Now, in reality, they're not going up. They're going over there, like you said. Can we move on?
NASA.
Well, I've never formally studied Hebrew. I can work the lexicons a little.
Yeah, he can work the lexicons a little bit, and then he has his expert Hebraist that he conjures from thin air. That's on the next treatment. Get ready.
Little bit, but I have a couple of world-class Hebraists.
Yep, world-class Hebraists. That's what he used. Yeah, really. Well, who are they? Who are these nameless, faceless, world-class Hebraists? Okay, Danny? Clown? Liar?
That I know,
Does he
and
read from a
I'm not
script?
afraid to call them.
Say again?
Does he read from a script?
He uses this world-class Hebraist. I wonder if he's going to talk about the schools that they went to, because they're of the highest order of schools. That's what just get ready for the treatment this week.
Call them and ask them questions, and they really help me out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that vague, generalized piece of horse shit that has nothing to do with anything.
Absolutely.
And they
Absolutely.
agree with me. And
Oh, they agree with Danny. Sure. And Aphrodite was actually Elmer Fudd and Drag and was directly responsible for the Tet Offensive.
with you that NASA does not mean deceive in Hebrew.
No, it does not. It just
And
has
it's easy to
please-
check. It really is.
Yeah, please, folks.
Please, you don't have to please folks with us. We dropped it back in 2015. We didn't even drop it. I just blew right by it. Clown.
Please
NASA
don't
argument,
attribute
please.
that to us,
Lay
is
that
what
to-
I'd say, but
Okay, super chat. Super
Dang
chat.
it, super mustache.
Super mustache. Roger Ludwell sent, why don't we ask Tesla?
Well, I don't think you're going to do that unless you got a really big heater and some strong smelling salts.
I don't even think Mrs. Tibbles is pigeon widow that he left.
Oh, brother.
At the end. No, that.
To bed. It's just factually not true.
Now wait just a minute. They're going to get to the Masonics. They're going to point it. No, this wasn't staged. Look at this, Adam.
Oh, this is a gift from God. Because clearly, you know what's happened. Oh, shit. You just said, because there was the Masonic question early on. So there's clearly been a super chat or a message or a panic phone call saying, Danny, you've left it up from the last lodge meeting. Shit.
All right.
Explain it. This will be good.
This is going to be good.
Because, come on, before you press play, because I've not heard this.
Me neither.
Is there going to be a plausible explanation? Brian, Flatsy, You're the instigator of this stuff.
I
Is
just-
there a plausible explanation you can receive right now?
Yeah, I could just say that he's just being provoking. He's like we have to deal with these types all the time, like Elder Bear.
Oh, I've got you. So I put it up there because I knew the Masonic question was coming up. I put it up there to provoke the audience. Yeah?
Yeah, well, whether it's his because he's part of a lodge or not, he's going to put it up there and claim that it's only there to throw flat earthers.
No, he said he
No matter
wasn't.
what.
He said he was never being a Freemason at the beginning.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what he says. If he was a Freemason, he's not going to tell you.
No, I'm
You know
with
what I mean?
Flatsy. I'm with Flatsy. The only plausible explanation is to put it up there because I was just trolling you lot to see if you spotted it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, even if he was a Freemason, he's still going to say he's only putting it up there to throw you, no matter what. So either way, he's going to just say that. So what? Like, that's how I'd have to view it.
Can we get to it
He should
now?
put it on his head.
Go
Go on.
Is that not
Put it
just
on his
another way
head.
of saying I'm a wanker then?
Yeah, you're a
Fundamental.
wanker. Can we move on?
No! I'm prepared to eat humble pie here. I've got no problem, right? We're saying, Dr. Danny, I've misjudged you.
You better
Wrong.
stop mumbling. I'll tell you that much.
Dr. Danny, I've misjudged you. I was wrong. The reason you put the Masonic symbol is insert upcoming explanation. Carry on.
Yeah. So this is a setup. It's contrived. Let's see what happens.
Now I'm sitting here watching you, Danny, and I just realized there's something on your shelf back there that if I don't address it, I promise you the comment.
Oh, he starts smiling and he looks back. You're a clown, Danny.
He knew which way to turn.
So I would ask you, is that the truth that he's just spotted it now? Is that a bit of production?
Yep.
In the actually he's been told from the signs Danny's got Illuminati eye, so it's production, or is it just a straight lie that the alarm bells have gone off and Danny's got Illuminati behind him? Why does Danny need to look? He knows he's got one there.
Yeah, unless it put it up there by itself. Huh,
What?
Danny?
That happens, doesn't it, with satanic stuff?
Yeah. I'm going to call, this is a little Clemson emblem. I'm going to call Clemson, give him a little peace of mind of what a dirtbag lying Dunning-Kruger doofus they let out of their doors. Clown.
Going to get lit up. The all-seeing eye in the pyramid. You
Look, he starts laughing. Huh, Danny?
are a Mason.
Look at it.
Well, it even gets better than that. I have a little jar here.
Oh,
and
amazing.
I've got a Masonic letter opener in here, and I've got some
No,
dividers.
stop,
and I've got a
pause,
glow
stop.
ball.
No, pause. What the? Literal. Right. There's, up there is a Masonic symbol. Yeah, but you know down here, have a look at this. Look, he's Mr. Bear. Have a look at Mr. Bear. Yeah? What you want to know? The big Masonic symbol, Danny. Not something else on your shelf that proves you're a Satanist or a Mason. Look what else I've got. The boiled remnants of a child.
The boiled remnants.
What? I don't care, Danny. Deal with the first indictment. Don't show me
Hey,
the
Brian,
second.
I have to admit, I wasn't ready for that one.
No.
What the hell is going on with you, Adam?
Look up Leonardo DiCaprio and then show what he's just pulled. He pulls a jar off the shelf. He's even got a homunculus in there.
Oh, bro.
Talking Masons. Or are we just... What's going off? Show me the tile, Danny, not something in a jar.
Oh, boy.
And even worse, it says right there, Mason, right on the jar.
Wow. Is it a mason jar, Danny?
It's a mason jar.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I know you're a Mason. You're drinking out of them.
You know what I
Drinking
what
out
I
of a mason
did
jar.
what I did a few years ago is
What I did a few years ago. Clown.
I was getting accused of being a Mason, so I
Should have been accused of being a dumbass, because that for sure we know that's true.
just set this on my desk
Why
and
was he
took a
being
picture and
accused
put
of
it up.
What?
We just have a
He said
minute.
he said he was being accused of being a Mason. Why was he being accused, and who accused him?
I'm yearning for
Why is
that
an
answer.
accusation, by the way? Just
So my-
our point is, it's not an accusation, but I want to hear Danny's response because.
Okay, then shut up.
Good, play.
On my without any comment, just put it up there, and I had a little mannequin that's giving this flat Earth salute thing, putting next to it.
What? What little blow up doll mannequin? Clown.
And
He's starting to laugh.
No, I want a couple of J's to the point that he goes after the question where he stands up. I just want to hear it from start to finish as a response because this is weird.
Here we go.
In the pyramid, you are a Mason.
Well, it even gets better than that. I have a little jar here, and I've got a Masonic letter opener in here, and I've got some dividers, and I've got a glow ball, and even worse, it says right there, Mason, right on the jar.
Now I know you're a Mason. You're drinking out of them.
What I
Mason jar.
What I did a few years ago is I was getting accused of being a Mason, so I just set this on my desk and took a picture and put it on my without any comment, just put it up there, and I had a little mannequin that's giving this flat Earth salute thing, putting next to it. And it lit up. People were saying he's admitting he's a Freemason, and the thing is that I had a Mason jar. I mean, that ought to have been the first clue that I'm just playing with you folks, and I'm playing with people on that. But the other thing up there, all seeing eye.
What? Why would a PhD in astronomy, a supposed intellectual, play these little second grade retard games? Why? I don't get it.
Well, he's not got to it. He's about to explain.
Okay.
He's just given us a load of fluff as to why he's been attacked and how he's teased people in the fact with his Mason jar. And now he's going to address the thing on the shelf, I think.
Okay.
That is
I have more news for you, though.
Oh, God. What's the news?
I posted it in Master B.
I'm not going to Master B.
Let's become real conspirators. Right? Look, because all I'm focused on, because I didn't watch the video, I only listened to it. I didn't watch any of this because I've only been listening to what's going on in every time it's been playing. We're looking in the background and I'm seeing over the top of the other guy's head a tree. Now, I don't know, but is that an acacia tree?
I have no idea.
Because the acacia tree is important to Freemasons.
Interesting. I don't know. I really don't care, Brian, but I see where you're going with this. Can we finish this
I
up?
don't care either.
Yes, you do.
Several years ago, we had people here at AIG, Answers in Genesis, wrote some books about cults and
yeah, one is the AIG.
Other things, including Freemasonry. And they had a conference that they did on it, and that was one of the props that they had. And since I was getting into the flat Earth stuff, one of them gave them to me, and I just put the.
Why did they do that?
Since I was getting into the flat Earth stuff, are we all Masons? Are we flat Earthers? This link is spurious. This is waffle. Yeah. This is now not sensical, Danny.
Yeah, I was going to say non sequitur. What?
Yeah. Well, no, it's a straw man. The reason he's got up there is because he's talking to flat earthers, and flat earthers are all Masons, apparently.
Or flat earthers think all baltards are Masons. I think that's what he's going for, Adam.
Oh, we know that 99% of the world think it's a ball. We don't think they're not all. It'd be bigger lodges, wouldn't they?
Yeah, much bigger. But Danny, he's just a retard. Look at him. Let's let him go.
The problem usually when I do the.
Go ahead.
I just want to add, I have a friend. Well, my husband has a friend, but he's one of my favorite of his friends. He's a Freemason and he's a flat earther. It really is just about nuance, guys. Like these definitive statements across the board just don't fly.
Yeah, we all know most, I don't want to say we all know, but we all know about the Masons. I mean, I studied them years ago. Okay. It's only the really high level Masons that are the Satanists. I mean, what was it? Pike said the 32nd level and above. But all the rest down below, they don't know shit, right? And they do a lot of things for communities and stuff. We all know this. It's a nothing burger. But he seems to look. Go ahead.
Right, I'm gonna say if they want a bit of information, well, Masons are a long time ago. If you're gonna look at and imply Masonry in some form of any nefarious conduct within society, you need to look at least 100 years ago.
Yeah.
The societies of control have moved on significantly. You join the Masons today. There's a scholar that I follow that talks about Egyptian stuff and that, and he said I progressed through the level so much because nobody knows anything anymore. Masonry's dead within inside of it. Yeah, I knew more than the Grand Master because I bothered to learn. And then I joined the Masons. I didn't learn when I was in the Masons. They don't know anything. They're a dead society in terms of now. If your indictment of the state of society today is held at the Masons, you've got a lot to learn. These control systems move on. The reason we indict the Masons is because it's apparent now how they were involved in a lot of the setup of the modern world we live in.
Yes.
That's long since gone.
Yeah, this is one big nothing burger. There's nothing.
That's exactly what I...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Quickly.
Just saying, that's exactly what a hidden Freemason would say.
Oh, brother. Thanks, Brian.
Brian, we can't reveal our powers.
Shut up, Adam.
These things in the background just as a little Easter
friggin' Brian
egg for people to see. You didn't comment on my tiger rag over there though from Clemson. So.
Yeah, I just commented. I knew where it was from. Blue sniffer.
Yeah, I noticed you're a Clemson fan. SEC.
He went to Clemson. Get his horse shit degree. Part of one anyway.
See Mississippi State, but there's no big rivalry there. So you're
Mississippi, MISSISSIPPI.
You're good. So
that we're good. So anyway, yeah, that's I'm glad you noticed it. Very few people noticed it, but
I'm glad you noticed it. Really. So this wasn't in the production, right? Friggin' liar.
Many times this Masonic letter opener, I'll leave it in the background somewhere. People rarely notices it's in the background.
I don't really give a shit. Get a hold of yourself, man. I mean, represent intellectualism and academia appropriately instead of playing these fuckwit reindeer games. Now, you know what? No, please continue to do it. It just makes you look like a horse's ass of what you are, retard.
And people say, well, that proves...
QE, just when Flatsy first noticed it, I said, the only thing I say is it's placed there, definitely.
Sure.
And we argued whether or not, the kids could have been playing Flick the Masonic cards and one stuff up there. No. But he's just admitted that. Now, the two options are what we suggested, that he is Masonic and sending a symbol to other people in positions where this will get out, just so people know what's going off and just so they know I'm in control. Yeah, that would be my suggestion. What he's suggesting isn't he is this scumbag like that. He said, no, I'm a man of God. And when I'm talking to people about the nature of creation, I like to take the piss out of them and do stuff like this. Sometimes you'll see the all-seeing eye, a demonic symbol. Sometimes I'll hold up this Masonic jar. Sometimes I'll put this Mason symbol knife in the shot. Listen to what he's admitting. It might be in... Why? Do any of us do that? And there's nothing innocent there. He's either a complete snide scrote that likes taking the piss out of the people, or he is sending a message to his fellow Masons, which he denies. Neither position is really that of a genuine Bible-believing good Christian.
Or he's a fantasist. Super mustache, super mullet, superpower.
Super chat. Okay, yeah, we got another one. So there's two. Stephen Cook sent, where are these Freemasons everyone's talking about? Every time I think I found one, I get a bill. And super chat, child. Roger Ledwell. Don't let me say it, blow up dolls. Yeah, I'm not letting you read that, booger. No way.
All right. Thanks, Roger. I'll check them later. All right, we're going. Hopefully it's going to end
You're a
quick.
Freemason. Well, actually, this letter opener was from a commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the Grand Lodge of.
What is your evidence for your spheretard? And is there any biblical evidence of your spheretard? You know, once this crayon muncher, you know, in the introduction stated that you guys were going to be going over, can we get to that at some point? You think? Danny. Clown.
Of Kentucky, which was in 1950.
Who cares?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, how old do people think I am?
Yeah, right.
How they think I moron. Look at him. Look at this guy. Are you an adult? I mean, what's your emotional age? 3? Intellectuals, definitely 2.
Right.
I got a Masonic Bible, QE, just so I could see what the Masons are reading. But I don't collect other Masonic
Other than
memorabilia.
the King James Bible. That's what you're going to find anytime you enter Masonic Temple. That would be a King James Bible.
Yeah, it was the prefaces that I was interested in getting hold of. The point I mean, if you then start getting loads of other Masonic stuff, isn't that the behaviour of like a Mason, like collecting Masonic memorabilia? Mine's a historical and documental reason for the one thing. I don't then collect Mason's knives and, you know, other things, as he said, and have show. And he's done very well, because we're not dealing with that show card, are we? All seeing eye that he's placed up there. Where's that one from? We were told it's because he's getting involved with flat earthers.
It was a prop or something.
He's either a liar and he wants to deny his Masonic.
Who cares? He's a
membership,
liar.
Which I'm not sure.
I would say this, guys. I would just say this. He may have put it up there as a joke, as a provocation, or something like that. Let's just know, by the creator, things don't happen by accident. And even if he meant it as a joke or as a troll, we are given these things by the creator. Just pay attention and be vigilant to your surroundings.
I'm with you. That's it.
Pertaining to the Bible.
We can't hear anything.
We didn't hear any of that.
We didn't
But I
hear
would
it.
say this.
He's going to overtalk you when you start, Brian. Or over mumble you.
I think that was Reg.
Was it Reg? I thought it was Neil.
Yeah, I was saying we didn't. I couldn't hear Q. I couldn't hear Neil.
Sorry, go ahead, Reg.
No, Reg was saying he couldn't hear Neil. We're waiting for you. What did you mumble to Brian?
I said, how long is this all going on? And I have not seen any Bible references.
I just said
What's
that.
going on?
I just
didn't hear you say
said it. No,
Yeah,
dude,
what
you're
you-
right. You're right. I just made a point of that. Either globetard evidence or their scriptural globetard evidence. I just made a mention, so you're right on it, Neil. Yep.
I have a letter opener, Masonic letter opener made several years before I was born. So
Yeah.
no, again, I'll repeat,
Right.
I am not a Freemason, never have been a Freemason.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But I like to kind of get.
What's your
give this
favorite
chance
color?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I've been accused of being a Freemason. But some guy
No,
did this
You're just a dumbass. All right.
video on me, and he looked at that fire.
What up, Brian?
Yeah, he has a second thing in the background. I'm going to be a total conspirator. A second thing in the background.
This.
That references Freemasonry, which is the number 6. Not just the 3, but the number 6. So I'm going to be a total idiot and say the number 6 because it's 33.
Oh, the Fire Marshal Bill. Let me show you something.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Go ahead and off into conspiratard land.
Fireman's helmet behind there and say, "Oh, that's a
Oh,
Masonic."
he's going to mention it.
Oh, my Lord. Timing, Brian.
Good timing, dude.
That's interesting.
Oh God.
All right. Hold on. I'll pull a $5 because I wasn't ready for that. All right. Here we go.
Some guy did this video on me, and he looked at that fireman's helmet behind there and said, "Oh, that's a Masonic symbol." And oh, it's just my grandfather's fireman's helmet when he was
there
a
you go.
firefighter. That's
It's his pawpaw. So there you go, Brian. You just got smoked.
and he was not a Mason.
I don't see a number 6 on that.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to provoke anything. I'm trying to get through this.
Old number 6 fire station, Shreveport, Louisiana. So, all right. More NASA stuff.
Uh-oh. We got a bubble question. Has NASA admitted we don't have the technology to go to the moon? Skip or go through it?
Sure, may as well just keep it going. I don't mind.
All right.
Has NASA actually admitted that we did not really land on the moon? Have they admitted that?
No, they've never admitted that. That's kind of a new
They don't have to. It's a second law of thermodynamics violation.
one on me. That people will be making that claim. And again, if we did,
Making what claim? It's not a claim. It's natural law.
It seemed like they sticking to the conspiracy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're back in 2015 and 2016 with nonsensical straw mans.
if we didn't land on the moon, that still doesn't mean the Earth is flat.
No, but it destroys, as I said before, the entire heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion all in one swath, right? So everything goes by way of the dodo bird. Anything having to do with your fairy tale planets, galaxies, moon, sun, the whole spiel goes down the toilet. And guess where the ball-tard quickly follows? That's why it's important.
Right. That's true. In and of itself, it doesn't. Now, they would say NASA has said that we don't even have the
Who are they?
technology. There's some video or some audio recording of some
There's something out there. I don't remember. Yeah, somewhere.
somebody in NASA. I can't remember. I have to look it up. But they
It was astronaut that name of Pettit.
Oh, there you go.
Said
Okay.
that, talking about the technology being destroyed, and I think
yeah.
what he was talking about was the mold.
Yeah, Pettit, that rocket surgeon. I think he might be dumber than you are, Danny.
From the parts.
I
You
know
have the
shit
plan-
shrinks.
What's that?
I know shit shrinks. But how big
keep
is
your
that
personal
fireman's
life out
helmet?
of this, Adam.
No, but I know shit shrinks in the distance. Yeah, irrespective of it looking small close up.
Yeah, it looks very small. But I don't
I'm
know.
just looking at. I until he made the claim about the helmet, and then he showed a picture of
no.
his. I've paused it there, and I'm looking at his granddaddy with it on his head, and I don't want to throw it, but that looks a very. His granddad must have had like a pea-sized head. Unless like his shelves are really far away, but the books look like look at it. Anyway.
You want me to go back to that photo?
No, I'm of no interest. It's just genuinely. He threw his helmet in there, not me.
All right, 1 second. I'll go back.
You'd have to use other things on the shelves as scale.
You would. I'm just saying. It just like as soon as he said it, I hadn't thought of it before. And I was thinking that must be his granddad.
All right, shut up. Let me see if I can't snatch it. Nope, it's before
So
that.
he was not a Mason.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ah, all right, there it is.
Right.
I
Like,
can't.
look how long it is. Look how long it is. Because it's got a big brief at the back. Now go to his shelf. How big's his shelf?
Do you think that these guys are such losers that they deliberately put Freemasons things in jars and number 6 on their helmet to trigger Adam?
No, not in the slightest. There's nothing of any interest, and looking at stuff is the only amusement I'm getting. It's really painful listening to a continuous liar and deceiver. So a bit of amusement is all it is. It's light relief. I'm listening to liars and cheat. I mean, you've heard us critique. Don't focus on that bit. Are the other things we've said other than...
What,
Well,
what did I hear? The freaking super salad, supercomputer, Superman.
He's not doing it loud. Sorry, guys. You heard him though. Good ear. Roger Ledwell. He sent Kennedy and bootleg moonshine.
Thanks.
I was the perfect person to read that one.
Yes,
you needed
you were.
that southern drawl.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna try to skip past some of this, man. Maybe I can get to something else.
Just to address the point, we did say if we even proved they were a Mason, who cares, right? This is just like I said, it's just a bit of light relief fundamentally.
Yeah, it is.
But you only, if I was on screen though, how many Masonic symbols would I be putting up just to wind up those ballers? Yeah. What's in your head that's happening? That's what I ask.
Nothing. There's nothing.
Captain Sourface. I'm on about Danny, who's admitted his malevolence in this.
Wait a second. Was that question rhetorical? What's in their head? No, that's not
Zombie.
rhetorical. No.
Zombie.
It's a caper-sized piece of horseshit.
It's deceit. I'm going to try and deceive these people, right?
What did Flatsy? Flatsy, you wanted to say something?
You said what's in their head, and I said zombie.
Oh,
you
is
know?
that what you said? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
They need those anymore. I got news for you. If you've got say a 1969 Chevy, the GM destroyed the molds for those fenders and such a long time ago. Good luck trying to get one manufactured at this point. You can.
Is that a reasonable comparison?
I think wholly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do it, but it's going to be a custom job. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. If we wanted to go back to the moon, and we're talking about going back to the moon,
we're talking about it. You're talking about it. Is the weed? Are you part of the where? Go ahead, Adam.
You know when they went to the moon the first time, all the parts, did they make them on a production line?
Had to be
Was it like,
no, it was subcontractors.
so the comparison would be nonsensical.
Yes.
Because the production cost would be equivalent today as it was back then.
Yep.
A bespoke production.
Yeah. I sniffed a false comparison fallacy in there. I was just too bored to go track it.
At this point, why would you go back and do it with 60s technology? The computers have changed tremendously, but a lot of other things have changed. And it would make about as much sense.
Right. Pause. Everything else that's changed would make it easier. So carry on.
But you want it to be a brand new 1969 Chevy. And there are a number of reasons why you wouldn't want that. One of them is that the 69 Chevy was struggling to get 20 miles per gallon. The 6-cylinder might have done that, but the V8s would not have. And it didn't have cup holders. Important. It didn't have a lot of other things, you know.
Booger, save me. Save me, Booger.
Super mustache.
You got her laughing. Roger Ledwell, that's right. NASA and moonshots equal conspiracy.
Demand they have the.
Thanks, Roger.
They certainly didn't have all sorts of the USB ports and things like that. So why would you want to go to the moon with 50-year-old technology? It just makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Good answer.
Exactly.
You got any more false comparison fallacies? What is the ISS really?
Right, if I wanted to drive to Florida, right, from New York in a 1969 Chevy, could I do it?
Yes.
Deal with that comparison, Danny. This is
All right,
nonsense.
so-
This is desperate. Pathetic comparison.
It's retarded.
You're politer than me.
So the flat earthers also say,
stereotype fallacy. Get ready,
Danny, that the International Space Station, they'll admit that something is up there because, I mean, we can see it. Something is up there.
You can see it. Really? Where?
So I'm a bit of a space nut.
Sure.
And
Sorry.
and so no. I mean I'm very happy with that. Right. And I've got the app.
Did they speed this up? Because he's sounding a little bit like a Muppet.
But Philip didn't understand the genuineness in Mark's response there.
I know.
Yeah, I'm a space nut. I'm sorry.
I know.
This is going to hurt down the line.
You didn't answer my question,
Well,
though. Did they speed
More
this
than
up?
finding out he fiddles with little boys.
You didn't answer my question. Shut up.
All right.
I said, did they speed up their voices because it sounded like a Muppet?
I think they might have, yeah. It sounded like he is. All
right.
On my phone, which has got where the space station is right now, and I have in the past looked at those live pictures, and I have seen where the space station is and thought, right, it's coming over me now. And so I have watched the space station. You can see it as that light. It doesn't blink, doesn't flash, goes over.
They like that.
That was a good picture, by the way. I've seen everything.
There's a solid light, and at the same time, I've looked at my laptop and I've seen where I am.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying there's something up there. No question. Is there a vehicle that could be the ISS up there? Yeah.
Not in the second law of thermodynamics violation, it can't be. That's for damn sure.
There are people inside it? No, not a chance.
But they say it's not in space. It is.
Can't be in a vacuum of space. It's the second law of thermodynamics, son. It's a violation.
An airplane.
This is getting tedious, man. Hello, straw man fallacy. I never said, I'm a flat earther. I never said it was an airplane.
I'm
Here's
almost
the deal.
embarrassed
I
to even
can
ask you that.
yeah.
But go ahead.
I can see the ISS, or for that matter, any other satellite passes over, and I can talk to somebody else.
Whoa. Any other satellite you can see, can I?
I suppose.
Not my claim. Danny's just said that.
Yep.
That's a big claim.
Yeah.
I don't think that's supportable. I think
Nope.
we'd see any other satellites. Don't think they bothered to go to the effort to show stuff smaller and further away, part of his mitigation earlier. Yeah. It's not making a lot of sense now, Danny.
He hasn't made a lot of sense since he was born.
All the same flight, but a few minutes different from me. I'll give you an example. Several years ago, was it? And 5 years ago, maybe I stepped out one evening. I oftentimes before I go to bed, I'll go out in the evening and take a look at the sky. It's what I've been doing for years. I do it first thing in the morning too, just like looking at the sky, see what's going on, check the weather, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I saw all the.
Do you go out and look at the sky and check the weather? Well, for that brief 2 minutes, is that it? Clown.
These really bright lights in a row moving across the sky.
I saw that a few weeks ago.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yes.
I didn't know what it was at first, and it had me going. I thought, wait a minute, I think I know what this is. I ran inside and I checked on it. Meanwhile, I'm checking. It's a Starlink launch, is what I'm seeing. Meanwhile,
Into the vacuum of space, Danny. Second law of thermodynamics violation. That was quick.
on social media, this woman out in I think near Davenport, Iowa, hundreds of miles away, she saw the same thing a few minutes before me, and she wanted to know what it was. Well, if you take it's just a matter of minutes different from me. No airplane we have can fly from Davenport to northern Kentucky in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes.
You know. How do you know
Hang
that?
on, what's the difference? What's the distance between those two locations?
I don't know. He didn't say.
No. What's the difference in reality? So now we've got all these claims that we can't support, they can't support. And in the past, people only had access to the internet, right? Now with Starlink, people have got access to the internet.
Gotcha.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
If you run the numbers, you'll find out that thing was moving over 17,000 miles per hour.
Let's run the numbers then.
The numbers are, right, before Starlink, people had access to the internet. Now they've got access to the internet. And the way they're told now, with a faster speed, and that's the proof. Yeah? Not that anybody's turned a dial up anywhere, but the fact that you've got a faster speed, better connectivity, yeah, post your 1980s technology that you've upgraded from, that's the proof that this is from satellites, from Starlink, from the link to the stars. You've got satellite and you've got internet now.
Clowns.
Which you only ever had before.
Well, he said it's a few minutes later, right? Now, if you're to travel by road, it's 824 miles between Davenport and Kentucky. Now, by air, it'd be less, because it'd be straight line. Now, I know that the MiG-25 Foxbat, which is now not even in service, I don't think, anymore, that could fly at 40 miles a minute, so it could cover 200 miles in 5 minutes. And there's faster planes than that now. So,
sure.
Doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't care. The whole thing means nothing. Like, there could just be two of the things, or maybe he didn't see anything, and either in this moment didn't exist, and it's just a big load of lies.
Yep. Yes, sir. Just anecdotal fallacies. He's king of that shit.
Yeah.
And that tells me it's not
You're
aircraft.
missing my point.
We're not missing
You
your
can have
point.
all- Yeah. Good.
But
Oh,
you
that's
had
good
your
to know.
point, and Brian had his point. We got both points. We're good.
You could argue there's a whole fleet of them. There's one over Davenport and one over Springfield. and
Oh,
one over
brother,
Indianapolis
conspired. You're a conspiratard.
and one over all these other places, and farther east from me as well, perhaps. But
Right.
it's silly to if you
It's silly to consider that those things are in a second law of thermodynamics violation, Danny. That's what's silly.
really go. It sounds like a plausible argument until you start.
Not any argument. No one's making an argument for it. Except you.
Well,
Super mustache and super booger is what Booger said.
Super booger, super fluid, super mustache. Go.
Roger Ledwell said Danny and Billy Joel are just alike.
Thanks, Roger.
Actually,
now, did you want to stop? Did you want to comment on that, Adam?
I just seen the super chat. I just wanted to pause it for
Oh,
Bubba.
okay. Thank you.
running the numbers and checking the details, and suddenly.
Did you? Go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to point out just why I might as well do it. That he wouldn't that these satellites wouldn't have to be over Davenport and then directly over Kentucky for both people to be able to see them in the sky.
Yeah, that's true.
A few minutes apart. They'd only have to travel maybe half of that distance. Maybe half of that distance.
Yeah, but you can't get
For both
anything.
parties to be able to see them.
He's not going to give you any of that, right? It's just going to be
Yeah.
vague, numpty shittery for this retard's audience. That's it. Good enough.
Are people watching it from here to there, or do you just have two lights, one in one place, one the other? This is nonsense, yeah?
Yep.
Like I say, look at what's being presented. The proof that we've got satellites is that nowadays people have got the internet through Starlink, yeah? Whereas before they had the internet through something else.
Yep.
There's no link between the claim and the service provision. The service provision is exactly the same. You can believe what you want just because you got a faster bit rate.
Yeah, it's total nonsense.
It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Not even the SR-71 Blackbird could even approach that kind of speed.
Shut up.
Nor my beloved B-58.
P-58?
There we
Oh,
go.
I love the B. The
Right,
Hustler.
so-
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
He loves the B-58.
No one could approach that speed. No one could follow it and justify its path. But you got people at A and B. Like I said, I only need 2 lights and a cell phone, walkie-talkie. I'd better do it, wouldn't it? I could set that up. There's no justification for anything, just ridicule. What are you believing?
It's not. This is a nothing burger again. There's not. Where is the evidence for your sphere tard, baltards? And are we getting into any scripture? You know, while we're young, I got a ZZ Top beard waiting for it.
Okay. P-58. I know the P-51.
Oh,
I'm sure
God. We're P-58.
The bomber, B-58. Look it up. It's an incredible
B-58.
plane.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll look it up right now.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
B-58. Gotcha.
B-58.
Okay. All right. I was like, I hadn't heard of the P-58. B-58.
It was a very fast bomber. Officially went Mach 2.2, but I think it went faster than that.
What's Mach 2.2? What's the speed? None of your retards in your audience will know that. Dan.
800 in it.
It has several records that still stand today.
Wow.
After more than a half century.
Right.
I doubt it.
As fast as it is, though, it does not approach the speed of the ISS.
No, it does
What
not.
did he say? What did he say was the speed record?
He said, somebody said super chat, superstition, superposition, super tramp.
Yes. Sasha sent QE, you are earning good with Danny evaluation. Laughing, crying face.
Thank you. Brian, what was your query?
Sorry, he was saying there was something was the record speed. Is that what he
Yeah,
said?
that holds a record today, B-58.
For fastest plane.
I don't know. He was generalized.
The X-15 is the fastest plane of all time. NASA's X-15. That was like Mach 7 or something.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit faster than Mach 2 there, Danny.
No, not so much. Just a few weeks ago, I was driving Kathy and I were
Like, QE.
What?
QE.
What?
I'm not a military. I'm not, as you know, like yourself, I'm not a military man.
Yeah, I know.
But if I was to see these military records, and I look at them all and I go, what year were they from? That one was 1968. Oh, and that one, or that one was. Do we honestly believe that today's military aren't going a shitload faster? And the support that they couldn't do it is that they couldn't do it in 1968. These aren't modern jets. It's just a very strange. So there's a million ways to present it, but to pretend we're in orbit is because we've got internet. Sod off. Move on.
Yeah, he's a clown.
It really is frustrating to just listen to people lie. It is like a baller. Oh, he is a baller.
He is a baller.
There you go.
Now we solved it.
We were out
Where's
in the rural
Betty?
area here in my.
Betty didn't come back. She left us again.
I think the pizza ate her.
Yeah, could have. That's all right. She's going to get an earful. I'll tell you that much.
Superficial.
Ah, there she is. Superficial. There she is. That's a good one, by the way.
Yep.
How is that pizza going?
Still going on somewhere. But it's good. I've taken a dessert too, so that's
Yeah. It's been like 3.5 hours, so I can understand that dessert took that.
sleeping time for me.
Oh, so you were sleeping on us.
No, it's a half an hour. I'm good.
See, yes.
Yeah.
So have you enjoyed the use of scripture from Dr. Danny Faulkner to support?
I was just going to say, I don't care if Betty
I'm still waiting for it.
So, somebody, yeah, we're still waiting for it too. Somebody in the background. Was that Neil again?
Of course, it's Neil. Go on, Neil.
Did I cut somebody off?
Yeah, Betty. She hasn't talked for 8 years, And then as soon as she starts talking, you rumpus her.
No, I was going to tell her that. Don't worry about it. She hasn't missed anything in the Bible. The Bible has not been mentioned.
Except NASA, the acronym.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
All right, welcome back, Betty.
Well, for a short time because I gotta leave you guys.
Gotta go again. Thanks, Betty.
I've
Montana,
been
where
here.
All right, fair enough.
we live now. And I looked up on a clear night and I saw exactly what you just described. These 9 or 10 little pinpricks of light. And they were all equidistant from each other. And I could just tell by looking at them, they were seemed like way too high to be planes. They weren't blinking or anything.
They seemed way too high. How high were they? Ball-tard.
At least.
This is a classic anecdotal fallacy.
Yes, it is. All of it's just nonsense.
No, one of them was like 65 degrees. Yeah, and some of them were like 78 degrees high.
Were exactly equidistant, and they were just zooming through the sky.
Zooming. Now we're getting into the white paper technical language. Danny, you would know what that is. What's zooming mean, Danny? Clowns.
That's the opposite of hugging.
In the world is that? And then it dawned on me. I bet those are Starlink satellites.
Those are that dawned on me. All of a sudden, those are satellites in the vacuum of space, violating the second law of thermodynamics. And you're a moron.
And sure enough, that's what they were.
And sometimes they'll disappear into
giving me the internet.
in the evening, they'll disappear into the Earth's shadow. Ones that I were looking at, they did it one by one. They'd disappear.
Yeah,
and that's what told me they were satellites.
Oh, this is
either that or flying saucers, one of the two.
Can we get to another topic, please?
Spaceships.
Another stupid ass topic. Here we go. How does the model, oh my God, account for seasons? Thanks for this. What model might that be? Go ahead.
Oh, it's easy. There's 4 of them every year.
There's 4 models?
And 4 seasons every year. That's how we account for them. And every year there's like 4 seasons.
First of all, numpty dipshits, Danny and Glue Sniffer over there, there is no FE model. And just FYI, there is no Globetard model is. You see, the problem is you don't know what models are. Specifically, in this context, they would be scientific models, right? Number 2 or number 3, I never made a claim about seasons, and I'm a flat earther. I didn't make a claim. Do you, sir, the Glue Sniffer and Danny, do you just go up to complete strangers and ask them to explain things they never made claims for? Just rhetorical.
Yeah, but this is so backwards. This is like going to Starlink and say, could you just expel the virtues of consumerism for me? Why? How do the FE model account for? At what point does Mr. Strawman ever going to give a reasonable response? This is going to be painful.
Yep, because we've never, I can't say we, I have never made any claims for this. However, there is a positive claim from the Baltard religion about seasons. Now, how do you account for that? And then with your account, we're going to need scientific validation because this is a natural cause and effect relationship. Clowns. So this is just a feeble shifting of the burden of proof fallacy wrapped in a straw man. So just so we're clear.
All right. So according to the typical flat Earth model, Danny.
Typical. It's the typical. What's the atypical flat Earth model?
No, you got to pause. I can't do this. You summarised it virtually perfect, so we don't have to do it. Can't we just go that actually it's you that's arse about face? Get over it. Move on. You losers.
Yeah.
Because
do we just want to skip this?
Unless anybody's got a salient point and wants to point out how nonsensical the heliocentric paradigm is because we're closer in the bloody winter than we are in the summer. Yeah. So that's the reality. Is looking at the question is the better point, because it's not a question you can ask a heliocentrist. Please explain the seasons. Well, on our offset elliptical orbit, when we're closer to the heat source, it's colder. When we're further away by a significant margin, yeah, it's a lot warmer. Okay, next question.
Yeah, this is nothing. It's like I said, it's a shifting of the burden of proof fallacy, clumsily so. Right?
I don't know what causes fucking seasons, right? To quote Irish. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't make a claim to do it, but there are people out there that do. Heliocentrists. Yeah. We've just outlined the nonsense. So deal with that. I don't know. It's a majesty of God. How every year I get 4 seasons. Yeah. And it pisses it down in the UK throughout all 4 of them, I'd like to point out.
Yeah. We're going to go through it because I promised it would. Go ahead, Brian.
Sorry for it. I was trying to get in there just after Adam. Yeah, I mean, I could speak about the original sun cycle that Kepler used to back engineer into the Copernican model to come up with their heliocentrism and their claimed explanation for seasons.
Sure.
But that would just be the back engineering. That would just be the original and every yearly observed cycle of the sun. What is the cause of seasons? Right? What is the cause of entropy?
Yep. Well, they wouldn't be able to answer. That's why they shift the burden of proof. These are just friggin' retards here, right? Trying to paint, to poison the well, but they're morons. This is non sequitur to us. They don't realize it. Just a friendly warning. At 5 o'clock, I got dinner. So we got 25 minutes.
The Earth, in my first video, I called it a giant manhole cover, and some people didn't like that. But the general model is the Earth.
No, there is no now we went from the typical model to the general model. This is a straw man, and it's fallacious.
Is this disk?
Yeah,
right?
This disk, right? Yeah, it's not that.
The North Pole at the center, and the sun and the moon revolve around the North Pole.
You get to the point.
And they attribute
accurate, because if you listen to what the description will be, it's a description of what we know, what's been affirmed, and how it. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean we're claiming a model because of that. That we have these limitations. There's certain things we know and work. Celestial navigation being a great example of that. And yes, Polaris is at the center of the bit we know. Doesn't mean we claim anything outside of the bits we know. And we struggle with the bits we know, if we're being honest.
Yep. And it's not my claim. It's their claim. So
seasons to the sun. Somehow they don't have an explanation for how this happened, but the sun.
They don't have an explanation for how what happens.
Sun will somehow expand its orbit, and instead of circling around, say, the Tropic of Cancer.
Well, haven't you explained it? It's your claim. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, just looking at what he has here, obviously he's taken the elevation change, the apparent elevation change of the sun out of it. But besides all that, look what he has. Oh, he has the latitude and longitude grid. That's the circle he's referring to. The very circle that was hijacked and mathematically turned into a globe. So he's attacking the origins of his own rubbish.
Yep.
When he's attacking what he's calling a circle, because he's an idiot.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Cancer, as the seasons change, it'll make a bigger revolution, and it'll kind of go around the Tropic of Capricorn.
Kind of, or will it? Might as well be pedantic, you moron, because this is another nothing burger for you and this dork.
But if that's true,
Wait.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, this is a bit like these are imaginary points.
Yep.
What do you mean beyond? These are the reason those points are existing is because that's as far as the sun goes. If it went a bit further, the Tropic of Capricorn wouldn't be where it is. Guess where it'd be? It'd be that little bit further. Yeah? It doesn't actually exist. It's a made-up line based on the position of the sun. Its transit in the sky through the seasons.
Yep.
Not real.
wouldn't the speed of the sun also necessarily have to change because it's going in a much bigger circle?
Now this is, I love this one, right? Because this is reversal of burden proof, but projection at the same time. So in our paradigm, yes, okay, yeah, I suppose if I'm going to say and assign these mechanics to it, which I don't, then yeah, maintain 360 degrees in 24 hours with a reduced circumference, yes, I need less speed. As I go out, I'll need more. That's fine. I don't claim that. These are apparent positions, the majesty of the heavens, which aren't even where they are when I think they are. I don't make any claim to them. But what you do is you claim to do all of these things. It's you that's going on an elliptical orbit with multiple changing speeds and directions.
Yep.
And not a constant angular change because it's a parabolic field. That's your claim again, not mine. So don't laugh at incredulity when you're the one that invokes the exact same thing.
Yes, exactly, Adam.
Yeah. Even within Kepler's Analemma, he has to show the southern summer as being a faster situation than the northern summer. And they've actually said, there's actually, because I produced this to the borders years ago when I was going through Kepler's Analemma stuff, that it was shown that the sun does appear to move through the sky faster during the southern summer. Now I don't know how they went about determining that because they weren't going off of angular rate. But I remember showing, I can't remember it, but I remember showing the reference to the page, to the site, to the people who did it years ago. So what they're laughing at is the very thing that's actually just normally claimed.
You mean what they're shifting the burden of proof fallacy?
And yet we don't see the speed
it's supposed to be hilarious.
of the sun.
It's like, where's
going
your
across
edge? Yeah, we haven't got an edge, but they've got an edge, so they want to highlight our edge that we don't have, that they want to straw man us to having an edge, so they can laugh at the edge. But they're the ones with the edge. It's called the horizon. It's the exact same thing. Attackers make up some mechanical issue with just the observations you have, then that we have, remember, then make up some bullshit mechanics, straw man that and say, well, that's just stupid, your sun's got to be going faster. I agree, it has. But it's not my sun that's going faster. You're going faster and slower and going in this direction and that direction while simultaneously not experiencing it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me something up there that can't fit my made-up mechanics for it. All it's got to do is go Occam's razor, innit? All it's got to do is go a bit faster and slower to maintain its angular speed, right? As it has increased and reduced circumferences. I've got to have something that I never feel change whilst never feeling it still. Fuck off.
the sky changing.
Yeah, they would argue that
stereotype fallacy.
It's that the radius of the sun's daily motion changes throughout the year. It's a smaller radius in December, it's a larger radius a smaller radius in June and a larger radius in December, and it's turning around at one revolution per day. And so if you're on the end of the second hand on the clock,
oh no,
you're going to be moving twice as fast as a point only halfway out to the end of it. So you're absolutely correct the speed would have to change, the linear speed would have to change.
I'm sorry. Did anyone wanted to start? I thought I heard something. My fault.
Well, because this is what pisses me off, though. Right now, as a heliocentrist, it is inherent in your religion to describe the mechanics of the heavens, right? As somebody that just believes in God, knows the Earth's flat, right? Or as a Bible-believing Christian, there's nothing incumbent for me to defend. Yeah, I don't have to present a model. It's not a battle of the models right now. Yeah, you've just got one shitty model that doesn't stack up, dude. I'm not bothered whether it goes faster or slower. That son, whatever it's doing, and it does it year in, year out, which makes no sense on your model as well. But yeah, stop trying to burden and proof reversal this. He's desperate to have some kind of competition going when there is none. You just need to validate what you are preaching, son. I have done.
Sorry, I was summoned. Guess what? Close to dinner time, so I'm going to copy this.
It's a good point to end it, mate, because we're at a point of real frustration anyway. I think I am.
I've had about enough of this stupid shit for today.
I'd sooner look at that fireman's helmet in the back.
Again, no Bible, huh?
No, we still haven't got scripture yet. Correct, Neil. Let me.
Yeah, you know when you're called a Mason, you've got all those books behind you. And I go, no, there's only one thing I follow, and just pulled out my Bible. If I was a Bible, you know what I mean? Not, yeah, I do this to take the piss out of cunts.
All right, let me save that. That's saved. That's good. But Doctor, 4 more hours. I should have never started that. You know that, Adam?
Yeah, I know. Palmer, that's called. I know you're not a believer in it, but fundamentally, yeah, it's called biting you on your arse in English, isn't it?
And we've been going for, what? What time is it, 4:47? Yeah, we've been going nearly 4 hours. Wants to go another 4 hours? I can't do it. All right, listen up. So, what's going to happen? Like I said, be on the lookout. Keep a weathered eye and a weathered ear out for some point this week. I don't know when. For a treatment with Danny. So we're staying on Danny. I mean, Danny's not going anywhere for as far as I could see. So we're gonna.
Haven't we got? Surely we're nearly done with this bit because look, tongue in cheek, isn't our brother in Christ about to come on and testify to us about space?
That's a good question. I didn't look ahead, Adam. I don't know.
That was the two-parter. This is a two-parter, isn't it? This isn't like this much of Danny talks like he can afford of himself.
All right,
I'm sure the second part's got Space Cowboy on it.
Space Cowboy, the ignorant space get. Okay, I'm at 2 hours and 12 minutes. Danny's still there.
Hey, look, right, there you go. There you go. Not ISS astronaut.
We still got about 40 minutes of Danny.
Take his testimony as true. Jeff Williams.
We still got 40 minutes of Danny.
Oh, God, help me.
Yeah, 40 minutes to go with Danny, and then we get into the interview with astronaut Jeff Williams. Did Nathan cover this?
I'm too busy at work to know anymore.
Okay. And at the end...
Well, I don't think we covered that.
Okay. And at the end, we got Dr. Jason Lieu, another Answers in Genesis bozo. He's a PhD astrophysicist.
Oh,
right?
Do you reckon he might have a bit of scripture?
I don't know. I know Nathan covered a little bit of just clips here and there of Jason from somebody that gave him some clips. But we're going to get it. I promised that we were going to go through this whole thing, and that's what we're going to do. We may skip a part here and there because it's so nonsensical, but but we're gonna get it. We're gonna go through this now. Let me flavor that a little bit. And if this interview with this Colonel Jeff Williams is incredibly stupid, I'm not gonna subject you guys to that. There's much more cowbellness to the other material Danny has. So let me just caveat it with that. Got it?
I think you should just.
Super chat. Super mustache.
Roger Ledwell, he said, altitude is the key.
Yes, it is. Yes. They need altitude. Anytime altitude or elevation, look out. They're gonna require a flat Earth for that. I mean, we're getting medieval on. They can't even speak a half a sentence to us coherently.
But the important point here, shout out, refracted, yeah. Altitude requires a flat baseline. They don't have altitude, they have benditude.
Benditude.
Yeah? Planes fly in straight line vectors. There is no altitude commensurate with your straight line vector anymore. Now, straight line vectors are commensurate with altitude on a flat plane, which is how planes know where they are.
I would like to hear them read from the Beatitudes.
I love the Beatitudes.
I like what you did there. Yeah, nice. All right, Adam, I'd ask you to take us home, but it would take too long. So,
No, it wouldn't.
He likes to take the scenic route home.
Yeah, I know he does.
I'll make it quick.
Go ahead.
John, no. You know what? Please read through this, and if there's any more word that's worthy of note, I doubt it. But if there's any points of ridicule, bring it up. But I think we should move it on. We've demonstrated there is no argument that's being presented here, and what's sad after this amount of time is to realise that there's no scripture here to back it up, which I think is the point of us reviewing this. That's the disappointing point. Shame on you, Danny. You should be able to defend your argument with truth and honesty, and you've demonstrated the opposite. So I say draw a line under this one now. I can't take 40 more minutes, QE, please.
No. You're not gonna. No. You're not gonna take us home by saying we're gonna draw a line under it. No, sir. We're going through it.
No, I put all the onus on you to pull out something worthy of comment, because realistically, we're banging our heads in 2015. This guy is a joker. He's disingenuous. Go on then, carry on. We only got 40 more minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. I hope you got a lot out of this. Of course, you already know that he's a pretender clown fraud, Danny. The other guy is just a numpty dipshit. But like I said, we're not going away from Danny for a while. He's going to get the full Monty. QE, out.
Yeah, someone just posted the vestibular system on the chat here, a live stream. But the vestibular system doesn't detect motion. That was something I was taught growing up, that it detects motion. It doesn't. It detects acceleration. Big difference. And we are able to detect acceleration pretty easily. We're not very good at detecting velocity. All we can do with velocity is measure that relative motion with respect to something else.
Oh, yeah.
Well then, Doofus Danny, the dipshit astronomer, since the Earth in your ball-tard spinning space monkey religion is rotating, hence has an angular velocity, ergo the Earth is constantly accelerating, and
we are able to detect acceleration pretty easily.
Can you please explain to us why we can't detect it easily? Por favor?
You are so dumb. Damn.